Boom. It's the Bennington Show. I'm going to guess it's a Wednesday right now in our Bowie-less world. But that, of course, Janie. I'm Ron Bennington. There's Gail Bennington.
Yo.
Chris, the Piss, Stanley Bennington.
Pissin'.
By the way, do you remember the after party that we had on 57th Street?
It was right before Christmas Eve.
Yeah.
It was. We watched Scrooged, and then we just fucking played this shit, and it was amazing.
Everybody was a little wired up. Kathleen was there. Bri. Who else was all in the room?
Mooch was there.
Well, Mooch was. That was the same day Mooch did his Jagger impression, which was scary good. But that song tore the lid off of it. Davey Mack, of course.
Yeah.
But what used to happen on 57th Street when it was the old XM days, XM Forever, we would throw quite a few after parties to celebrate the show being over. And Dave would eventually get whacked and only go over, and he said he was running the light show, but he was just flicking the lights on and off. And I kid you not, sometimes that would go 2.5 hours of just him flicking the lights on and off and thinking it looked a lot better than it did.
Oh, sure. It sets a mood.
But I always wondered what the building across the street thought about it. We got so many good times connected to this music. It is the Bennington Show. By the way, Davey Mack did his first tax show last night, and Chris Stanley was texting me, wondering if Dave was all right.
Did you see it? I mean, his face. Did you see his face? I mean, it's in HD.
He's under hot lights.
What's going on?
Yeah.
I mean, I wonder if he has a skin rash or something's going wrong with his face. I'm worried about him.
But
the redness.
You have got to. We got some pictures up. I think he looks fantastic. He's wearing almost the same dad shirt you are. You've got to go to the Bennington Show Twitter to be able to keep up with this. Vito, you might be getting a run through as a guy to see whether he can run the computer for us. But Chris thinks that that's redder than the face of a normal person.
I mean, look at.
I mean, he's very red.
It's the HD is the problem. If you look over here, I have low def and it looks fine. He just looks red. But that, and look, I'm going to tell you something else. Unlike you two, I've done that show. There's a lot of bees in that place. And
that makes sense.
Yeah, I always wear my beekeeper hat and net down over my face. It's a mesh look. So I'm fine. But obviously, if you look at that, Dave has been stung by a bee or two. The only thing that surprised me is that he didn't mention it, which I think he didn't see how Albert Brooksy this was getting.
He might not have had monitors up where he could tell.
You know what the weird thing is? There's monitors all the time around you in that room. And this is the difference between that show and radio. You're constantly looking up to go, I'm sitting like a duck right now. And you try to adjust yourself.
Someone should hand him a note. The face is too red. You need some balm, I'm going to guess.
The photo on the left there, the expression coupled with the redness.
It looks like the bee venom is taking over. It might even have been a snake, for all I know. So
I mean,
the snake's in the logo.
To be fair, a lot of times, or all the time in TV, you have makeup and hair to take care of you.
Yeah, and it's not going to be rat and stinky. Let's be honest about that.
Yeah, I mean, everyone needs a little powder.
And they take care of that. But I don't know.
I'm going to send him a visor, just to maybe that'll help.
This is mean. Queen Elizabeth wrote, he's ugly. It's not a rash. He's a very attractive man.
He's beautiful.
And wearing the same dad shirt as Chris Stanley. Dad shirts have taken over.
I can't believe it. I never knew it was so daddy up in here.
I started trying with the dad shirts. I'm not even a father. It's great. Yeah, that we had the same exact shirt. It's the same exact shirt I was wearing yesterday.
It might literally be the same exact shirt. Like you two are splitting a shirt.
I'm going to hand this off to you. Good luck.
Something suspicious about this.
But no, I was watching last night, and just
let's have a different lighting for him.
Yeah,
like maybe if you had him under pink lights, right?
Okay,
maybe everything would look nice and pink.
Even it out.
Yeah,
because if you look, like the eyeballs seem white, but the forehead and cheeks are. There, it's like he has fucking typhoid fever or something. I don't know. It seems like he was sick, like he was under the fucking weather.
Dude, I remember when he did our show and he had to be rushed to the hospital because hot sauce was put on his body. Now, you wouldn't think that would be true, but Jay Moore, in his spastic attempt to be funny all the time, poured some hot sauce down Dave's pants, burning out his asshole, nuts, and what passes for a penis with the Irish. Now, with the extreme Irish, let's be honest about it. But we're like, Dave, stop acting like a baby. It's hot sauce on your skin. Yeah. Then he pulled his pants down, and we just see these enormous just bruises and lesions. Blisters, legions, and in the middle of it, a sack and what appeared to be a ruptured penis head. And we had to say,
oh, the head.
You're going to...
Not the head.
Good he has sensitive skin.
It's unbelievably sensitive.
It's sensitive.
Could he work under an umbrella?
Like a hat with an umbrella, maybe. I think a full umbrella would just be too big.
He just needs a nice lady in there. Give him a little dusting of powder. And even him out.
Concealer?
Well, legally they can't have any women in that studio.
Okay.
We'd have to find a Catholic monk who would be able to come in and do it. So I'm not sure what happened, but there's it's available on YouTube in its entirety, and I think it looks just. I think he did a bang up for a show.
Oh yeah.
Oh, so now you've turned it around after bringing up all the negative things.
I mean, I'm just saying I'm worried about his health. That's all.
If anything, you've created that health in him.
Yeah.
I think HD technology created that.
You know, there's a lot of tours going on around here.
Nonstop all week.
Does anybody know who they are? They seem VIP-ish.
That's Brooke Shields right there.
Okay, so Brooke Shields is touring around here looking at stuff?
Touring stuff, yeah.
Well, tell her that I said she's a pretty baby, okay? Her under 12 nudity that she did back in the 70s. No, she did. It was weird.
Pass that along, Joe.
It was very sensual and sexual, that underage nudity.
All right, Dead Cat Skippy says his face looks like a U.S. political map.
No.
Dave is a ginger. Of course, he looks sickly.
That's mean.
And then Billy Baldwin, perhaps the prettiest of the Baldwin, says, the show leans more left than a Vikings field goal. I don't know whether he means our show, which hasn't said anything political, or Dave, by just not being political on that network, comes off as incredibly left-wing.
If you say nothing, it's left.
Yeah. He's a libtard.
Your silence is very left. That expression.
All right, Kenneth says it's Cobra Venom. He was all fired up. I do think that he was probably a little more fired up than he will be.
Yeah, it's first show.
Secret Facility said the camera adds 10 pounds and a cooked crab-like shade of red to the face.
Never heard that last part.
I've done the show with him, and I don't think I've seen him turn that shade of red.
That's true. That when you both were on Anthony's show, I don't remember him being quite so intense of a color.
Let's face it, he was vanilla. I mean, he looked like a beautiful eel belly. Now, but here's the difference. You know, you got other people. The playoff life is fun, but it's like if everybody just walked out here on Chris today, he would be able to do the show, but his intensity level would be up.
Of course, yeah. There's a lot of blood rushing to the face.
Right.
Plus these lights. I mean, they're right above me.
Yeah, suddenly now you're paying attention to the hot lights of this business.
Someone turn the fucking lights off in here.
I can't fucking work under this.
Are you breaking out in
hives? They're everywhere.
Bunny Kid Kickbutt also said, a person with transparent skin, this is rather normal, especially if you're a bit nervous / excited. And he was. Amanda said, bees are a good call. He was red and lumpy, but the show was very funny. It really was, for a first show. And it's the most difficult thing to do, a first show in anything. You hate it.
Well, it's not together yet. I mean, it's the first show.
Well, he got rid of, as he said, a poisonous tumor which drugged down his old show.
Oh.
To the fact where his listenership was at 0.
No listeners?
Yeah. And that was what we call a Stanleycation.
Didn't know that was called that.
You Stanleyed that whole show?
But I know I go through different days here. Some days are fun days. Some days are not fun days. Some days after the show, a VP will wander in here and say something about one of your best sponsors. And that just has you crazy. That happened to us yesterday. Saying that one of the things that we promote and love on this show, somebody else does better. And that kind of passive aggression stayed with us all night long.
It didn't make any sense. And I don't believe it, first off.
Well, I know it's not true.
It was definitely not true.
It was only made to disrupt us. You know what I mean? Because we're just going too good right now. So what passive-aggressive things that we say? Oh, let's attack a sponsor that we know that they love. I expected Joey Jojo to be a fucking attack dog on that. But he worries more about working out with Vito every morning.
Yeah, we like to get swole.
That Jenny Hutt video that you two fucking passed out as an original idea. What time were you up this morning, by the way, to work out at 7?
Who does that?
I woke up at 5:45 to get to Midtown by 7.
This is why you are sleepy and lethargic right now.
Yes.
I'd rather you got up late, ate butterscotches, and then came in here and did the show.
I feel
I'm all
great right
jacked
now.
up and I'm ready to show.
By the way, you put up something on the iBank today about the way one of the Kardashians eats a Kit Kat. And what was your title for it?
Kourtney Kardashian eats a Kit Kat like a total weirdo.
Okay. Now, I watched her eat this Kit Kat. Chris, have you watched it?
I have not seen it, no.
I don't know what to do then. You need to prep before you do a broadcast. She breaks the Kit Kat down with her teeth.
Yes.
Now, I've never done this because I don't sit around eating Kit Kats. I don't see any reason that candy should be mixed with cookie. Period. Dumb. But a Reese's cup, I eat not a dissimilar fashion. Frozen Reese's cup, by the way.
You will separate chocolate from peanut butter.
Yes.
Interesting. With my Reese's cup, I will go
the
perimeter
around?
First, and then I go for the middle.
No.
But I take care of the perimeter first. But this is excessive. This is difficult. She's biting off both sides, then peeling away chocolate with her teeth like a little bunny rabbit.
But the way she explains it, it makes sense.
What she's trying to get here is the perfect cookie center, the wafer center, that she says is the best part and is better.
But I'll say this. Maybe that comes from the work that she put in to get to that. Because if somebody just put out cookie centers, I don't think she would be so crazy about it. But when you do the work of using your teeth to scrape away at the chocolate, you're onto something. And the way she explains it and her voice, it's wonderful.
I like to just take the chocolate. I eat the chocolate off. The center wafer's the best part. I couldn't dream of eating a Kit Kat any other way.
Now, I noticed, Chris, and this annoys me, when the M&M peanuts came out the other day.
Yeah.
He didn't break it down. He didn't, try to crack through the candy and then the chocolate and then enjoy the peanut at the center. He took 8 or 10 into his hand and shoved them in at the same time.
And like popcorn.
He was...
There wasn't any popcorn.
Ate them like popcorn.
Oh, you ate them like popcorn. Well, again, no one has to eat popcorn that way. By the way, I do like to eat an M&M peanut with popcorn.
That's a very good combination.
It's the beginning of the salt chocolate world that's now taken over everywhere.
He actually was eating the M&M peanuts like a fistful of pills. Like, I'm not even sure he was
trying
chewing
to kill
and
himself.
enjoying. He's just
It was a suicide attempt.
them down.
Or as he calls it, partying.
And I saw that way Courtney does this. I used to eat cheese doodles like this, where I would take a cheese doodle.
Wait,
There's no
this is
center
nuts.
of the cheese doodle.
This is already nuts. You've taken away things that make sense and brought up a cheese doodle.
All right, so you know what cheese doodle, the shape of a cheese doodle, right?
Yes.
All right, so I'd bite off the both ends, and then I would like chew and gnaw away all of the cheesy part, so that only the, I guess what you'd call the doodle, a cheeseless doodle is left. As a child, that's how I would eat cheese doodles.
Let me just say this. This is why dudes say you suck cock better than any woman in the world.
You started young.
You take your time.
You started young. Your training began.
Yeah. His dad used to just keep it right there in front of his zipper.
Ew.
Enjoy your doodle, boy.
Ew.
Enjoy that doodle, boy. That's ridiculous.
So what happened?
No, that part wouldn't happen.
Joey, I'm going to ask you. Do you have any ritualistic snacking that you do?
Yeah, this is kind of embarrassing, but I like to peel oranges with my mouth. I don't use my hands, and then I don't take
That's
the
monkey
individual
stuff, my friend.
Yeah, I do monkey stuff.
Monkey.
Oranges.
That's weird.
And then I don't take the individual segments. I just eat it like an apple.
I almost take it back because at least everything that Courtney's doing is edible. You're putting things that are not meant to be eaten.
Yours aren't food.
No.
You're biting at that, like that little idiot Aussie kid was eating the outside of a watermelon.
Now, I do... Okay, here's my Oreo situation.
Right.
I obviously separate. Eat one of the one dry cookie side. It's not my favorite part, but...
That's disgusting.
Then I don't do the scrape. I know a lot of people do the scrape,
Right.
and I find that to be weird. But instead, I do eat along the side, so I'm maximizing the cream section with the cookie, so I'm taking care of all the excess cookie.
Can I just tell you something? Go sit next to Hicks. Because you have... first of all, your way of doing it, you never dunk. You never dunk an Oreo.
Sometimes I'm not in a dunking situation, but if
when
there
you
was,
are.
I'll use that for the dry. To help the dry situation.
No.
You gotta dunk straight.
No, the cheese doodle thing makes sense.
Oh,
No,
stop.
the cheese
Don't go
doodle
back.
is worse
First of all,
than
that's
Joe's.
air. It's like you're sitting there working on air
But
to
then
finish it.
here's something that I've noticed with everybody, even crazy Kourtney Kardashians. What you're getting to is the maximum pleasure situation with the snack. You're eating the fun part off, and now you're left with a flavorless doodle.
Yeah.
I don't think that that's the best case scenario for your last bite.
I like bland foods, though.
Do you like bland
I like
foods?
bland foods, yeah. So, like just plain oatmeal or just regular cornflakes.
You would pick cornflakes over, like, even when you were a kid?
Even as a child, cornflakes is the only cereal I ever wanted to really eat.
So this is another weird thing that I always did as a child. So you take Fruit Loops, right?
Okay.
And the main flavors there is like a red or maroon, a yellow, and a green.
Okay.
The maroon, of course, represents Chichester, the yellow, Innaborough, Ridley Township, and green. So as you go through this, you're wiping out Ridley, you're destroying Innaborough, and then Chichester's left alone in a championship swirl around, and then eat to have the victory.
When
I would never have said that out loud to any family member of mine.
I like it because it's similar in concept to how I treated Lucky Charms as a child, where I thought of it as some sort of form of divination. So I would eat as much of the cereal part, leave as many of the marshmallows, and then I would dip in and eat the marshmallows. And to me, the last marshmallow left was some sort of a sign for my day, like something to focus on. So if it was like purple horseshoe, it had something to do with luck, or rainbow, or something like that. I would take as it was a divination.
I would treat Lucky Charms as someone has mistakenly put candy into the cereal, and this is disgusting.
And thank God they did. I loved a Lucky Charm as a kid.
Hated it. Not bland enough.
You know what else is bland? That fucking dad shirt that you wear.
I
regularly.
think it's proper. I think it looks nice.
See, I would have taken you with the addictive personality and thought that you would have just had sugar cubes inside of Pepsi.
Nah, man. Weird. I tried a Lucky Charms. Didn't like it as a child.
You tried to, you know why? Because your mom probably made bland food, right?
Oh, God, yeah. My mom was a terrible cook, yeah.
So bland meant love to you, and you're fucking tenement walk up, Lower East Side. Right now, he can't even fucking sleep at night unless he hears gunshots and far off sirens.
Why aren't there more ambulances in this neighborhood?
He would sleep in the heat because if he fucking would have opened his window, someone had dove in off the fire escape and murdered him.
A lot of bars in the window growing up.
Sure. Isn't that nice? Like they made little prisons for the children.
It's for safety.
Yeah. Monique in Houston, what's up?
Yeah. Hey, I just wanted to add, I also eat food like a total weirdo. I eat my strawberry Pop-Tarts untoasted, and I eat all the way around, and then I eat the ice portion.
I'm going to tell you a story that's going to shock the world. There's never been a moment in my life where I've eaten a Pop-Tart. The look of them disgusts me so much, and the fact that there's some kind of fruit that you heat up inside there.
Well, you have a hot fruit problem.
I don't like hot fruit.
He doesn't like hot fruit. This is why I can't get him into pies, because he doesn't like a hot fruit pie.
So
First of all, you've never set out to get me into hot
yes,
fruit
I
pies.
have. Oh, yes.
When?
This has been a lifelong mission, and I will get you.
I don't think fruit should be cooked.
That's crazy to me. I love hot fruit, and by the way, I love a Pop-Tart, and I eat mine very similarly to you.
A fruit is perfectly done by God himself. Perfect. And wrapped, as Joey Jojo has pointed out, that he has to use his little rat teeth to gnaw around the wrapping of his oranges.
Couldn't one argue that meat was perfect, too?
No, you would die. If you just started to bite into a wolf, you would die.
But we used to be able to.
The first time I ever had a Pop-Tart was here, because I had the vending machine.
Thank you.
You've never had a Pop-Tart?
I never had Pop-Tart.
So that means
Not
to me...
bland enough.
That
you know what
you didn't
Pop-Tarts
toast
mean
it.
to me? Mommy doesn't love you. Because the kids who ate Pop-Tarts didn't have a mother to give them a nice breakfast before they left.
I loved a strawberry Pop-Tart, though.
No, your mother didn't love you very much.
I thought she did. I thought that's why I got the Pop-Tart.
No, it was your brother she was crazy about, and still is.
That is true.
Yeah. Now, and you can see why now, because you're a hot fruit eater. No, a cream-based pie, bring it in. I understand that completely. But I don't understand.
You like a custard pie.
Yeah.
Or a pudding pie, if you will.
I don't know if I ever heard them referred to as pudding pies.
That's what they are. A custard pie, it's a pudding pie.
I don't like, but, you know, to go back to the Pop-Tart, I never liked the idea of breakfast on a run. I want to treat every day like brunch.
I don't like a breakfast burrito.
What?
I think it's
That's
bullshit.
crazy.
That's
You're bullshit.
stupid.
No,
That doesn't make
A
sense.
man who likes hand foods as much as you do?
A breakfast burrito?
Never a fan of a breakfast burrito. I like a burrito.
Okay,
like with
but
fucking rice. And
what's your
shit.
problem with the like? What is
I
to
think
dislike about a breakfast
I think
burrito?
it's you're wrapping up too much. You're wrapping up. I like to have it separated. I want to have all my fucking breakfast food separated.
What if you're in a car? You're going to sit there while you're fucking driving with a little plastic fork and knife?
Bacon, egg, and cheese.
On
And
what?
then that's together.
On a roll.
That's just like a burrito.
I don't think it's
a
a real.
sandwich
I don't think
is a different kind of burrito.
I think a breakfast burrito is the bastardization of the actual burrito. Most like a wrap.
But you're not making any fucking
that
sense
doesn't
at all.
make sense.
There's no difference between the two. You tell me we've got a big comedy star here.
We have Mr. Noel Fielding. He was just on Jimmy Fallon last night. And on January 17th, he'll be with A Conversation with Noel Fielding and Bobcat Goldthwait, which is having part of the San Francisco Sketch Fest. That's sfsketchfest.com for tickets. And he's going to be on Conan next week, next Tuesday.
Tell everybody where his fame came from.
The Mighty Boosh from the BBC.
It's a cult favorite. It's beloved. And now we have him here. His favorite Bowie song?
Moon Age Daydream.
Let's do it. Okay, here's the thing, Chris. You've got it sit in front of you as well. But your dead air trick can't go on, dude. You can't just sit there and act like dead air. How are you, my friend?
I'm very well, thank you. What a tune to come into.
Well, we picked that because you said it was your favorite, and yet you're not even 100% sure.
I had I knew I was going to have to pick my favorite, and I had a short list of 10.
Right.
I thought, I don't know what to do. I don't know which way to go. And then I did it, and then I immediately felt really panicky.
Yeah.
I made the wrong choice.
Right.
Like, who's going to be behind me again? No, what are you talking about? That is not my best tune.
Well, we were playing all of our favorite tunes by him the other day, and we found out he passed away. And one of the guys picked Heroes, and I'm like, I love that song, and I don't know if it's in my top 20. That's how much, how great he is. Songs that kill you.
In my live show, I use that show at the end.
Yeah?
Yeah, we make a guy come up on stage and we put him in an animation, and then he saves the whole show, and we play Heroes at the end and sort of parade him around the stage. But it's such a powerful song if someone has actually become a hero for that moment. When that kicks in, it's incredible.
And we were talking too about how when it was used after 9/11, that was something that was
he
was
came
so
out
powerful.
and sang it to the cops and the firemen. And brought up his local firehouse because he wasn't that far away.
No.
And everybody just lost it, you know?
Man.
But that's the thing that you said you use it in your show as this touchstone.
Yes.
Because we all have that
What a beautiful thing to
relationship.
do. That was. He's a legend.
Yeah, he really is. And it's weird because we think of him as a New Yorker, but he probably couldn't be any more English, you know?
When I was growing up, he lived quite near to where I grew up, so I was always quite excited by that. He lived sort of in Kent, which is Bromley, which is about half an hour from where I live, so it sort of made it seem possible if you were going to try and be in a band or a comedian that, well, Bowie's from Bromley, just down the road, so it is possible.
Right, yeah, exactly, right?
Yeah.
That changed everything. Well, you know, to me, you always had a little bit of 70s glam about you.
I think that's my mum's fault. I think I grew up on Mark Bolan and, you know, Slade and David Bowie and Mick Jagger, all of that stuff, just constantly. And the record covers, you know, in those days it was records, so you could look at the covers and, you know, they made a lot of fuss about the artwork. Whereas now it's all downloads, you don't know what people look like. It's not quite as glittery, is it?
I probably stared at the Ziggy Stardust album cover more than anything else I've ever looked at, and more than any movie, more than any book, just looking at that cover of this person who was a man and a woman and a human and an alien.
Yes.
The possibilities were there.
He had so much great artwork with his albums, but that one in particular, there's a whole world that's going on in that little shot that you can kind of get lost in that
and
that
even
image.
as a child, when you first see him up close and he's got different coloured eyes, that in itself is like, oh my God, my head's blown up. What?
Yes.
He's got different coloured eyes. Is that even possible?
You know, one time when I was about 17 or 18, I ran into a girl with different colored eyes, and it was about the greatest night of my life. You know what I mean? I'm like, I don't want this to go on, but I want to remember every moment.
They probably fixed that now. I'd be so happy if I had different coloured eyes.
Wouldn't it be fantastic? But, you know, for you, too, there's always that thing of people that can cross over into America, because it doesn't happen with all English stars.
Absolutely.
Particularly in comedy. It's a very difficult thing to pull off.
It's very difficult. I thought about this a lot, obviously.
Yeah.
When we did the Boosh, and the Boosh was quite big in England, there's a point where you can't get any bigger in England, and America seems very alluring, and you're like, oh, America, because so much of your culture, our culture is from you guys, and we love so much American stuff that we're like, wow, America, imagine America. And then you come here, and New York just looks exactly as you would imagine it to look. You just, when you come out, you go, oh my, it's amazing. Yeah. And so it's very exciting if you're English, but the idea that you would be able to do what you do without changing it, and the Americans tap into that, is you never know. It's like 50-50.
Yeah, it is. And there's some people, even bands that are gigantic in England, don't make the move over. Some people who are okay in their popularity in England, become even bigger here.
Yeah.
You just don't know. But in comedy, it's interesting. Eddie Izzard has had a long career in his own audience here. And it's funny because people have to lean in and be part of it. You know, and
he's doing well now, right?
Well, he's always done well, and he's always had his own audience, and has always done it on his own terms.
Yeah. That's good to hear because I've got the same promoter.
Do you really?
I've got the same agent as Eddie as well.
Well,
Get some tips off him. He's quite glam as well.
Yeah, he is.
Gender bending.
Yeah, and I do think that we react to that in a strange way in America. Maybe because masculinity gets pushed so hard here. I don't know. But what does England think about us right now with Donald Trump and Obama?
Yeah, I don't think we quite. We love her. I think people love Obama in England and really think that he was great for the world, not just this country. Donald Trump's a different kettle of fish. We kind of don't take it seriously. I mean, I was on Jimmy Fallon last night and I sort of said, what's the deal with Donald Trump? I mean, really? Because if he's president, then we're going to have to make Gordon Ramsay prime minister. It doesn't make any sense to us. It's like, is this for real? Like,
it wasn't that long ago that we kind of considered them both in the same position, too. Gordon Ramsay was doing almost the same job as Trump on TV. It wasn't that different.
But it's kind of strange that I think, started off in this idea of, this is kind of funny and it's weird. And then it got to be like, this is real. Yes. Like, this is still really happening.
This is a dream that I can't get out of.
Because when he announced that he was running, it was a blast. Everyone was like, this is how American and weird.
It's a caricature.
Of course.
I mean, you have big characters like that in this country, larger than life, and they say, quite extreme things, and it's part of your makeup. And I don't know how long. I think we would frown upon him quite quickly in England and say, well, this is not right. This is not cricket. Who's this guy?
Right.
I mean, he can't. There's no way. Well, he seems to be just doing all right.
He got compared to P.T. Barnum the other day, and he says, yeah, exactly. That's what I do. I bring in a big show, I make things bigger than life, which we love in America. Probably,
it's entertainment, isn't it?
Yeah, we probably like that more than anything else. We love a self-made man. We love a grift. We think somebody who makes money doing something slightly legal but borderline is great for us.
Yeah.
We love a rags to riches, where I think England still has somewhat of a class system, even though rock and roll broke it.
Yeah. I think so. I think probably the thing that's not I guess we just get sound bites from him in England, so we dissect those, but he's probably saying a lot of stuff over here and he's doing a lot of business, whereas we just hear him say things about, quite extreme things about immigrants and stuff, which we just I'm not very happy about that sort of stuff.
Oh, no, you're getting it all. You've got everything.
That's pretty much the gist of it.
That's the whole story.
When he said, people don't like that ending. And also just the idea that he said a couple of things that cracked me out. He said he wanted to turn the internet off. We should contact Bill Gates and turn the internet off. Like Bill Gates is in charge of the internet. He's got a button that you press. I just thought that was fascinating that he thought maybe that would help if we turn the internet off. Like, you can even do that. But I don't know. He's a preposterous man. But I guess in a way he has some showmanship that is somehow tapping into something that people are enjoying. Maybe it's because politics is often, you're never sure whether politicians are telling the truth, and there seems to be, as misguided as it is, some kind of truth. Not truth, but he's just saying it as he sees it.
Well, fear is a pretty good thing to sell, because when people hear anything, if they feel any fear, and then someone can come along and say, "Oh, I can get rid of that fear for you," a lot of people just go, "Oh, great."
Yeah.
Get rid of it. And that's, we came over from Europe and into a rough, ugly, nature. We just had to fight nature. And then the people who actually lived here, we had to keep moving them along. So we have that thing of, we don't have to think a lot if we're really mighty about it. We swing hard.
Yeah. Oh, and particularly somebody who can put it in a language that people understand. He never tries to say anything that's above anyone's head. He's always...
A lot of my friends who are quite liberal and left-wing, and in England, that left-wing is sort of very liberal, Guardian reading kind of, people, you get them a lot in New York and LA here and San Francisco and places, but they find it quite disturbing. But I've been asking just general people, you know, where I've been staying in hotels and, you know, doing stuff, what is it with Trump, you know? And people aren't as sort of aren't ridiculing him as much as I thought they would be. I thought they'd be like, oh my god, it's insanity, but they're not. They're like, yeah, he's doing quite well. And I'm like, what, you taking him seriously? I mean, surely not. Really, this is a joke, right? And they're like, no, it's happening. And I'm like, oh, okay. So I don't know, it's a strange one.
On January 17th, the conversation with Noel Fielding and Bobcat Goldthwait is happening as part of the San Francisco Sketch Fest. Go to sfsketchfest.com for tickets. And Noel will be on Conan next Tuesday, January 19th at 11 p.m. on TBS.
Bobcat's one of my favorite people in the world.
I love him.
Yeah.
We did a show with him in LA, a warm-up, but we did a festival for for Jack Black on the pier in Santa Monica, and we played the store, and he was comparing, and he's such a cool guy, and I love his films, great director, and a brilliant stand-up, actually.
He's a brilliant stand-up that was, you know, wonderfully misunderstood and didn't mind that. And then his films are out of this world.
Yeah. Clever man.
Yeah, it hasn't really hit, you know, a total mainstream, but I think he's probably the best independent filmmaker in America today. His films are just fantastic. And then he's also one of the smartest guys that you could ever sit down and talk to.
I know, when you chat to him, he's it's so smart, and you can have a brilliant conversation with him. He's got great taste as well, and quite eclectic taste.
He's got eclectic taste, and
I always like people who like English people. Yeah, when Americans kind of love English people, I think, oh, they know a lot, because some Americans, not all of them, I'm not generalizing, but are quite inward looking. But when America, you know, I was quite good friends with the Zappa, and still am, the Zappa family, and they were huge Anglophiles, you know, and they sort of had a vast knowledge of what was going on in England. And I always find that quite amazing.
Well, that is interesting, isn't it?
Yeah.
But you know, Bobcat was friends with David Bowie, and obviously his best friend was Robin Williams and Barry Crimmins, and every time that you run into fascinating people, there's some connection to Bobcat there. And even young comedians, he goes in and he directs their TV shows, and if you go off and find some of them, you're like, wow, this is interesting, but it's happening on one of the smaller channels. He's just always involved in great stuff.
And you see that so much in his films, like he really takes on really interesting stuff.
Always.
He never goes for the easy mainstream. Right. He just does stuff that I think he finds stimulating, that he can really do something with. He's got great vision. His films are sort of, there's something amazing about the sort of atmosphere of them and the tone of them. He's got it. He's quite European as a director.
That's
he would
a very
be like
good
an
call.
art house director or something. Yeah. But, very smart. Love him.
Well, every time I try to think of someone to go, what is his films like? And I'll be like, David Lynch, but no, not really. You know, John Waters, but not really.
Not quite, but he's in that category. Yeah,
he's in the category of people you can't really explain quickly. So you guys are going to just sit down and talk.
I think so. I'll do whatever he wants me to do. I love Bobcat. I'll do whatever. I'll cook him a meal, I'll cook him, whatever he wants, whatever he needs.
Your comedy, of course, is very different in the way that you do a lot of different things besides storytelling.
Yeah. I think the Boosh was a bit like that. We never saw ourselves as comedians in the beginning. Julian was in a band, and I've been in a few bands, and I was much more interested in visual art, you know, painting and stuff. So I think when we decided to do comedy together, we both had done stand-up, and then we liked the idea of double acts. We love double acts, and we sort of got good at that. But then we sort of had this animation and visual element from me, and we had a musical element from Julian, and we were fascinated with story, but we were also fascinated with the way it looked, and try to bring lots of different things to just one show, you know, rather than just a sitcom. The idea of a sitcom made us recoil a little bit in horror. So we were like, why can't we do a song like Bowie? You know, it's like, I mean, one of my live shows, I played a character called Sunflash, who was pretty much based on Ziggy Stardust. He was an alien flying around the world, and Julian was the last man on Earth trying to recreate the world with this mutant race, and I was just sort of going around the world in a little glitter ball rocket with my manservant who was a robot and using up all the last resources of the world, like a sort of evil Tutankhamun boy king character, but like a glam rock version, you know. And we wrote some good songs for him, but, you know, very Bowie and Bolan influence. But we didn't have any limits. We had no limitations because we were comedians. It allowed us to do some jazz music, or it allowed us to make a song about glam without being judged too harshly, because we're comedians. Like the Concords are like that. Like, they can do a sort of folk parody, or they can do a hip hop thing. And because they're comedians, they actually do really good music, but they don't have the same pressure as a normal band, because it's sort of slightly tongue-in-cheek, which I love. It gives you freedom.
You have freedom, but then when you do something live, you still have to connect.
Yes, of course.
I always think that it's so interesting that you can go off and do certain things in a TV studio, but when you get in front of a live audience, that might get thrown out quick because you have to engage. You know,
well, we started live. That was always our secret weapon. Is that when we did the Roxy in LA, Robin Williams came to the gig, and I remember I had some interaction with a couple of people in the front, and we had a big sort of conversation. I was improvising quite a lot, and he came back and went, "Oh, I love that bit when you did that," you know. And I was like, he really enjoyed the bits that he definitely knew were improvised, you know, because he'd only seen our TV show, and he loved that, but he didn't know we could do it live. And almost once he saw that we could do it live and hold our own, he was like, "Oh, I love you guys even more now. You can do it live," you know. It's sort of as if it was quite impressive to him that we could improvise.
How strange is that, though, for you to connect to this genius on the other side of the world? You know, isn't that the funniest thing in the world about comedy?
I know, I love it. I mean, I grew up on Walker-Mindy. Was just when I was a kid, I couldn't believe Robin Williams. I was like, how does he exist? A little bit like David Bowie for me, you know, just an alien man where you go, is he real? Can you be like that when you're an adult? That's brilliant. I'm in. If you can be like him when you're an adult, then I'm in. You know, it's sort of, and just. Yeah, then he started saying that the Boosh was his favourite English comedy, and then he came to the show, and we were just staggered. But I'm really glad that we got to meet him, because
it's amazing.
I think he's a proper genius. And
I think that what's great is like when you were thinking about him when you were young, I think there's something about him, he's so childlike.
Yes.
That's what made young people connect to him. I know that's why I loved him as a kid. Is like it was so shocking that an adult could behave the way he behaved.
One of the first people to do that, because I mean Jim Carrey and people, and you know, most of the comedians now do that. You know, Will Ferrell and people, they're quite childlike, but I think maybe he was one of the first people to, you know.
Well, there's a special from like 1979 where you could see him doing it, and some of it's dying because the audience didn't have the reference point.
No.
Like now we could go, oh, I see he's left the stage in a very Robin Williams way.
Yeah.
But you could just see people kind of like, well, this...
we don't. Yeah. We have none of the mental sort of capacity to deal with what this is yet. We haven't defined this yet.
Right.
That's like Kaufman as well. You just people going, I don't know, I've never seen this. What are the rules here?
Well, they were all at the same time, too.
Yeah.
It was Steve Martin, Jim Carrey was like the young guy as part of it. Steve Martin was a giant, but you know, Jim Carrey just sold a TV series about stand-up in the 70s. I mean, really interested to see it, because all those guys kind of broke rules that had been around in this country for a long, long time.
Yeah, and Robin Williams was friends with Belushi, wasn't he?
Yes, Robin Williams.
I would just love to wish someone would have filmed them on a night out. I just would have loved to hear their conversation.
It had to be madness, right?
Oh, right. I mean, why didn't someone just... Nowadays, because there's cameras everywhere, someone would have done it. I mean, just eavesdrop when they're in the back of a limo going to another party or wherever, just to hear them two would have been just magic.
Well, I had Dan Aykroyd on the show a few times. And, you know, from his point of view, he still doesn't understand John. Like, after all these years, he played a straight man. They were as close as brothers. Yeah. But he still couldn't quite figure out where that was going, where it came from.
No. And he wrote great stuff for him, didn't he?
Unbelievable stuff.
Like Ghostbusters. I think he was going to be in Ghostbusters.
He was going to be in Ghostbusters.
And just wrote like the Blues Brothers and stuff for them. Yeah. He just knew why John was funny, didn't he?
Yeah, well, they met each other, and one was so kind of tight, and the other one, you know, it was like an anchor in a balloon that worked so well together. It's why you see a lot of people, if they use the same personality on stage, you just want to grab them and say, look, you're leaving all the rest of this.
Yeah.
You know?
When I was a little kid, I saw a documentary with Dan Aykroyd, and I was too young to know who he was. But he had a cardboard cutout of Monty Python in his writing studio, and I just thought, wow, this guy likes Monty Python, he must be good. I got to check out this documentary, and then through that I got into him and John Belushi, and that's what I love about comedy, is that when you find another comedian, because
Absolutely.
and I've just got into Jonathan Winters because of Robin Williams, and I didn't know.
Yeah.
And the first thing I watch is him doing a thing about fishing, and he's doing it from the point of view of the fish, looking up at the fisherman, and there's a catfish in it, and it blew my mind. And it's black and white. It's so old, but it's like one of the greatest things I've ever seen. And it's quite like my stand-up. It's like surreal and storytelling, and he plays animals. And I was like, this is so long ago. He's done it already, but so long ago. And it's just so amazing to me.
Go look for his paintings too.
He paints
every day.
Oh, wow.
And they are strange and brilliant.
Wow.
And just, the funny thing with him is people used to worry about him all the time because he wouldn't stop. You know what I mean?
Yeah.
He had that Peter Sellers thing. We'd love to see it on the screen, but not so much in the hallway.
No. You couldn't tell where it ended or where it began. I know, because I saw him funny enough, I saw him on a chat show. It may have been Carson or some, with Robin Williams. And it was funny because Robin Williams is usually on those things is just, like a tornado. But because he's very respectful to Jonathan Winters was the weird one. He's out-weirding Robin Williams. And you just think, oh my God, someone's out-weirded Robin Williams. Is that even possible? But he does. And it's just this beautiful thing where they have like a almost father and son relationship.
It really was. And when you watch them together, Robin would take care of him because he would sit, he had probably a better idea of that modern audience and where they were going. But what he wanted people to see was Jonathan Winters through his eyes.
Yeah.
So you would see Robin fall into the straight man role.
I know.
And just gently take care of him and move him around the stage. And it was really amazing stuff.
So beautiful.
I didn't know that he painted, and that's kind of interesting to me because I always think about comedy. Oftentimes you don't get the connection with the visual, like you saying with the Mighty Boosh, thinking about the way it looked and something beautiful. But oftentimes using art as an outlet, going with comedy.
It's quite interesting to me because I paint as well. Oh, wow.
There's some of his paintings are up there. But
wow, they're beautiful.
But it's really, they're really, really fantastic.
Colours are great, aren't they?
Yeah, very, very
sophisticated, actually.
Surreal, and you kind of get the feeling of what was inside Winter's head.
Yeah.
But it's amazing how many people. Dylan is an interesting painter. Paul McCartney, Bowie was always an interesting painter.
Yeah.
But it's the one place that we cut off.
Yeah.
You can act, you can sing, you can dance, but wait, what makes you think you can paint?
I know, it's weird because I paint and I have exhibitions because I went to art school, but so I'm always interested in people who paint because for me, I reach for a pen and paper to draw something to express my first idea, whereas some people just write, and it's sort of Harlan Williams as well paints, which I love his paintings. There are a lot of comedians who paint. I tried to do a show in England about comedians who paint, and there's quite a few actually.
Well, do you, when you start to sketch first, then do you feel like you put yourself into that sketch?
Yeah, and often I just paint. I have to see the character before I can make the character come to life. I need to know what he's wearing, what he looks like, and even for radio, this is going to sound really weird, but when me and Julian for the Boosh wrote a radio show, I was painting the characters, and he said to me, "You do know this is radio, right?" And I was like, "Yeah, but it helps me." And then we did go on to do a TV show, and then it was very useful. But I think in my head, I have to be able to see it, or it's not real. It's like part of making kind of imaginary stuff real by firming it up, by actually making a decision, like what would they actually wear, or what's this top hat going to look like. So it was quite exciting for me to do painting, but I didn't know Jonathan Winters paint. I'm going to check out his stuff.
Yeah, he's really. You can actually even purchase a lot of his stuff. That's how much he painted. It's available.
Noel Fielding's in studio. He's touring North America for the first time beginning in March. Go to noelfielding.co.uk for dates and tickets. He'll be on Conan next Tuesday, January 11th at 11 p.m. on TBS. And he'll have a conversation with Noel Fielding and Bobcat Goldthwait. That's happening as part of the San Francisco Sketch Fest. Go to sfsketchfest.com for tickets.
I even heard you bring up when you did the Tonight Show, it was like being sucked into the TV, which I thought was a very interesting thing to say. Or when you came to New York, I remember the first time I went to Los Angeles, and I'm like, feel like I grew up here. You know what I mean? Because it's been in so many movies.
Yes.
You're like, I think I used to live around here. There's a part of you that thinks you were a child there.
You've been there before.
Yeah.
I had that experience in LA and then had to realize, people feel that way about New York,
Right,
as well.
yeah.
But I had that exact moment looking at the tall palm trees and the way the sky looked.
And I think that's going to happen to me again because I'm going to San Francisco tomorrow night and I've never been. And obviously I love like Dirty Harry and there's so many films that are set there that I'm just like, I can't wait to go. And it's ridiculous that I've never been there because it seems like a sort of place that I should live for a while.
It is one of my favorite cities, and it's also one of those cities that so much art has come out of. You know, Kerouac was writing there, and then the Grateful Dead were playing there, and there's periods of that city, like there are in New York or London, where you can kind of feel it as you walk through. You can feel, for lack of a better term, the ghost of all that creativity that's still around.
And I'm a huge Richard Brautigan fan.
Yeah.
And apparently he's from, I don't know if he's from there. I think he was from Washington originally, but he lived there and that's where he did quite a lot of his stuff. There's a bookshop that was run by
City Lights.
Yeah, City Lights, yeah. And so that's still happening, isn't it? So I definitely have to go there like a pilgrimage. I've got to because...
I always feel that like, just if you go, okay, so Kerouac was read here, where, you know, you could just look around. And I tend to think, why are people fight over Holy Lands? But then when I get to some creative places, like if you're in Sun Records and it's a little room and you know all the people that recorded in that room, you can still kind of feel it.
It's amazing because my friend Phil Jupitus, who is a comedian who does Never Mind the Buzzcocks with me, he's a great comedian and he said to me, you've got to go to City Lights. And he said when he was in there, or a friend of his was in there, Ferlinghetti was still alive. He was quite old, but he still ran the show. He was always upstairs in the office. And apparently a woman jumped out of the window of a building opposite, and this customer was horrified and said, oh my God, a woman jumped out of the window. And he just came down and went, I saw Kerouac fall out of that window in 1956.
Yeah. I just always wondered, too, because if you look at that, you had the Beats were there. And then, of course, the great rock and roll of the 60s, the rock came out of there. And then in the 70s, great filmmakers came out of that era. Yeah. You know, Coppola was there and George Lucas was there. And now it's the software guys. Now it's the computer. So you have this thing of creativity, but not necessarily in any one art form. Yeah. You know?
That's interesting because it shows you where creativity has gone to now. And it's more to do with technology, which is not really my era, but I can kind of see that I've been around to see the change, and it's so quick, it's so rapid now.
Nothing's ever been as fast.
No, it's nuts. It's like we are living in a science fiction age now. It's just so quick, and it's quite scary actually to know what it's going to be like in 10 years.
It really is, because I remember watching sci-fi movies and wondering when any of this would happen. And then I just saw last night people are in drones. They just showed that they're making drones big enough that people can get inside of them, and you're not flying it, you know, it's being done off someone else's laptop. Crazy. And off you go, and I'm like, I'm not ready.
Because in my show, basically, there's a bit where I have animation on a big screen, but I didn't want to just have animation like you're watching a television show because it's live. So at one point, there's a door that goes into the screen, and I go into the screen and become like a plasticine, like a claymation character.
Right.
And then we take someone from the audience and we put them into the plasticine animation. So it's sort of interactive, but I don't think you would have been able to do that even 5 years ago. You know?
Exactly.
It's amazing what you can do. I mean, it's very basic technology, but it's kind of quite exciting for the audience because someone from the audience is going into the animation and interacting with these other animated characters, which you couldn't have done that 10 years ago.
Well, what I love about it is the guys who designed it needs the artist to come in to make it work. It's like the early television guys, they didn't also put on the shows. No. You know what I mean? You have to call somebody in and go, what can you figure out to do with this technology that I've made?
Yeah, because the technology on its own is quite dull.
It's just there
but
it is.
You need it, though.
Well, dude, it was so great to have you come in here.
This has been amazing. I could talk to you guys all day.
Well, you're always, every time that you come to New York, you're more than invited here.
I'd love to.
And congratulations for everything that's happening
thank you.
too. We're very,
This has
very, very
been
happy for
really
you.
amazing just to chat to you, and you don't have such a vast knowledge of comedy. It's beautiful, like the Oracle. Thank you. You're both great. And three of you.
Thanks. On Sunday, January 17th, a conversation with Noel Fielding and Bobcat Goldthwait is happening as part of the San Francisco Sketch Fest. Go to sfsketchfest.com for tickets. Noel will also be on Conan next Tuesday, January 19th at 11 p.m. on TBS. And Noel's first North America tour is beginning in March. Go to noelfielding.co.uk for dates and tickets.
We'll see you next time, my friend.
Thank you so much.
Hey, how fun was that having Noel in here like that?
That was such a great conversation. I adore him.
Well, it's always really cool when you meet someone that you want to be cool and then they are.
Yeah, exactly.
You
Yes.
know?
He was as cool as you would hope.
We're going to go back and see the show when he comes back into the Gramercy Theater, which is going to be a fun place to see that take place, and then hearing about all the animation that he's doing and stuff like that. Chris, once again, plug out the plug sheet.
On January 17th, that's this Sunday, a conversation with Noel Fielding and Bobcat Goldthwait is happening as part of the San Francisco Sketch Fest. You go to sfsketchfest.com for tickets.
Can I just say something? I would get on a plane now to go see that.
He's a wonderful man.
Yeah.
And
So,
Noel. And Noel will be on Conan.
but I mean that he and Bobcat are together. Like, that's two guys that I really dig.
Yeah.
Hanging out together, talking.
I think that'll be a really excellent time. And you're right. It's funny because they seem like they would very much have a lot to talk
Well,
about.
Bobcat is so weirdly visual too. You know what I mean? Like his ability to play in the visual world. Because I have none of that. You know what I mean?
Yeah.
I could just, do a conversation in the dark and that's the end of it. You know, when people say, "Can you imagine what this looks like?" I'm like, I can't.
I can't
That
see
part
it.
of my brain doesn't work. I have like a visual imagination blindness. Like when someone has to shows you like house plans and they're like, come in and see these house plans. I'm like, I can't live in those little squares. I'm sorry, I can't buy this home. I need to see the home already done and probably lived in even once before, just so I can see where they put their TV. Because when someone takes me into an empty room and said, "We're knocking this wall out," I'm just like, well, you better be right, because that seems nuts to me.
Noel will also be on Conan next Tuesday, January 19th at 11 p.m. on TBS. And it's his first North American tour beginning in March. You go to noelfielding.co.uk for dates and tickets. And on Twitter, it's at noelfielding11.
.co.uk.
.co.uk.
So later after the show, we'll figure out all the fuck ups.
Oh, yeah. Yeah.
Where are you putting them? Because I wanted to, I want Noel to come in and see a professional show.
Yeah. It's a combination fuck up between Joe and myself.
Wait, no veto?
Yeah, Vito fucked up too.
Okay, good.
It's a fucking trifecta of fucked up.
If someone has to be fired, who should it be? I'm picking me right now.
I was thinking
I
me.
want to get fired and get out of it.
I was thinking me. The first thing I said should be in my head.
I might be going on the road with Nolan, just keeping the animations all straight for him. And animate.
We need someone to say animate.
And animate that. You have friends that are animators, right?
I do. I know a couple people who got into it years ago, and it's great. It's so cool to see how far you can come, because it's really a skill set that takes a lot of time, and once you get it. And is there anything more impressive to somebody who doesn't do it? You're just like, what? How do you make that?
How those drawings move around and be funny?
It doesn't make any sense.
That's what I'm going to start doing then. Well, you know what? The thing that's up on the iBank today with the penis photographer who created the Gallery of Dictators. I think that's impressive, because I would not know how to turn penises into funny little puppets. But this person has pulled it off. Well, can we look at still pics? So these guys come in, and apparently they have to get a hard on, right?
Yeah, they have to be erect for it to happen.
And then there are penises of all sizes. And now, who's that supposed to be? Trump?
Yeah, it's supposed to be Trump, yeah.
I don't think it looks enough like him. I think there's too much hair. I think the fact that you put a shirt and tie on a penis and a jacket is fucking unbelievably funny, though.
It is funny. Yeah, I mean, certainly he's not that hunchbacked, but...
Yeah. And who's this supposed to be? Let's see if we can guess. I'm going to say that's Axl Rose.
I thought it was Ric Flair, but he doesn't...
I thought it was Bono.
Now, see, that's where having a stubby heart-on, like a lot of people are like, I have too much of a stubby heart-on. Yeah, maybe it won't make a woman happy, but that looks great right there.
Sure.
And maybe if guys would dress their penises up like this, girls would find them to be more attractive.
So use it as a sort of peacock sort of look at what my penis is capable of.
Well, you know, when girls were little, they liked to play with dolls or they liked to do color form. And really why am I still looking at the same one over and over? There's a million. Is that Barbara Streisand?
Lady Gaga?
I thought it was Miley Cyrus.
Oh,
with the pink wig.
That's fucking disgusting.
Oh, I know.
You always pick a minor.
Nicki Minaj.
Oh,
that's who it is.
All right.
It's definitely Nicki Minaj.
That penis is because it's darker. Is that why you're saying that?
Well, and the pink hair, and then she's wearing like a nice little bustle. All
right, let's go to the next one. Is that Saddam? Why are you laughing at penises?
What's going on?
The giant mustache and the headgear too. I feel like it's like Kofi Annan or something. Like I feel like it's an Iraqi guy.
But you know who it is, the man that ran the whole thing.
Yeah.
I don't remember Saddam wearing that headgear though.
You know what? I would have even gone back. Who was the guy that was around for years that looked like Ringo Starr?
Arafat?
Thank you.
Oh, could it be Arafat?
Could be Arafat penis. All right, keep going. These are up on the iBang. Well, that's where is Waldo the penis?
Yeah, it's the Waldo penis.
Now, see, I think that this would help a lot of guys who worry about their penis. These aren't enormous porn penises.
No, this is an average.
Do you know how many young men, for years, men never worried about their body. And now young men worry if they don't have a porn penis.
Yeah.
And I'm like...
I would be sad for them, except for they hold women to those expectations, too.
So now you feel like they're getting it. Yeah. We've always held women to be in the top 1% of the top 1%. Hey, did we have something fucked up where we didn't have Noel's name up properly on the iPad? Some people are complaining about that.
On the pad data?
I didn't have it till about 5 minutes into the interview. Up on the pad.
Why didn't you have it then?
Just after the fuck ups, it flustered me, threw me off, and
Maybe that's too much pressure for you to be in that seat.
I can do it.
You would have by now. I said before, maybe he should be pulled into your seat. Just worry about levels, and you worry about running the show from there, Chris.
I mean,
you're just worried about mic levels over there.
Yeah, it's just mic and the computer and mic levels. That's all I'm doing.
The computer's a fucking disaster from there. Yeah. It's a disaster.
Yeah, I hate it.
It isn't a matter of hating it, it's fixing it. We have first of all, we have a VP I don't even think likes us after yesterday. You know who likes us? The comedy people. Michael coming in here and being like, he's saying to our new VP, this is the best in the business. I'm like, why can't somebody on my fucking team? I mean, why can't I hear that out of Leeds or Spencer? Why do I got to hear it by a guy who works outside of the building?
Yeah. Although it was nice to hear, though.
Well, sure. Feels good to get a compliment every once in a while. That's why I'm always telling, like, Chris, you're doing a good job. Joe, you're kicking ass. Vito, great workout this morning. All right, what do we got there?
Okay. This is Stalin.
I wouldn't even recognize him.
See, that's why they had to put the flag there.
I think that if you don't recognize them without the flag, they're doing a bad job.
Yeah, if you're not communicating the character with the penis,
Here was always the amazing thing when people talk about. Well, we were just talking about people that have visual things. When John Lennon could just take a couple of squiggly lines, and you could go, "Oh, it's John and Yoko." That always amazes me. I always like when someone you could figure out somebody who they are based on 3 or 4 lines. That kills me.
Yeah, because it's iconic enough that they need to figure this out with the penis.
Is that Fonzie?
I thought it was Fonzie. It's Kanye West.
No, that's not. Kanye's not that thick.
Thank you. You really need to defend Kanye. He doesn't have a barrel chest that way.
Much too stocky to be Kanye.
I'm not sure whether people care about this bit as much as us. It's a little visual. I don't know.
Well, it's up on the iBang. Need your dick pic taken. Go to this professional penis photographer. Not safe for work.
Someone wrote, "Why isn't Chris reading off the names? Is he shy?" I don't even know what that means.
We're guessing.
But after we guess, you could read to us. This says, "I think fellatio would be more popular if the word job was changed to something more fun sounding." Yeah, when you're giving someone a blow job.
Like a blocation, maybe. Like,
how about blow play? Are you ready for some blow play instead of blow job?
You're right. That makes... We already do it for ass. Why not for blow?
Although I don't think that ass play gets any more done than if it was an ass job. Patrick says, "I was loving all that dick."
I mean, I don't like this one. It's Castro and this hair around the head, which is creepy as fuck.
I think it works. Why would you give it away that was Castro? Because now you're ready to be Reedy Boy? Let us guess before you're Reedy Boy, Reedy.
No more reading until after guessing.
You're not Reedy.
Because no one said here's what we're missing out on, Gail. It's Kanye West and Nicki Minaj and Saddam Hussein.
Okay,
we're missing out on all those fun dick-related names.
Yeah, we love puns and we love dicks here. So.
Here was my favorite part. I was pretty flustered after the fuck up, and I just sat and didn't write up it.
Why so low?
Why do we have so many interns if none of them can come over and help? I'll tell you this. This team, there's nothing but I's in team. The way we spell team is T-I-I-I-M. Team.
That's more like time when you think of it. And is that what we want to spell? We don't want to spell time.
That was Fidel Cockstroke.
See, that makes it fun. More fun, and we're doing a fun thing.
Yeah.
Fidel Cockstroke. Now, here's what annoys me about this. You know, when these dick photographers came up with Fidel Cockstroke, they were rolling around on the ground laughing.
What do you think this?
Also, I don't think you could do this with vaginas. I think this proves once again, boys rule, girls drool, because the cock elicits laughter across the board.
Okay, there are some photographers out there who make some pretty fun vaginas. I've seen them.
Well, pass them along. I'll tell you this. In a movie, right, if you see full frontal of a woman, everyone's just like, but in a man, there's just this massive laugh from the audience.
Yeah, well.
And I've been to comedies where a man, all he's done is his pants have fallen down, his dick is hanging out, and people laugh.
They are silly. There's a silliness to them.
But even violence to the penis and scrotum elicits laughter. I've never saw anyone laugh because a woman was hit in the cunny.
Like, oh my God, it's like, I think it's more horror if there's a...
I think we should try to make a comedy where a crab has pinched on to a cunny lip and see if that gets a laugh. And then minutes later, show a crab hanging off a scrotum and people will be screaming. By the way,
it already...
Fucking Gail just pointed at Chris when he laughed at the cunny lip as if, hey, there it is right there.
There it's working.
You're just working against the men again. All right, what do we got there, Chris?
Okay. I bet I can guess the name.
All right, go ahead.
I bet this is Adolf Hitler.
All right. I was going to go with G.I. Dick. What is it?
Adolf Clit Tickler.
That's
okay. Mine was...
Yours is better. Say it. What was yours again?
Adolf Hitler.
It's good. All right, what's the next one?
All right.
I don't like that they're all historical.
Is that supposed to be Patton?
Pat Dong? I'm going to go Pat Dong.
Pat on my dick.
Wait, that might even be the famous Jackie, was the bus driver from Brooklyn in the 1950s.
Oh, yeah.
Jackie Gleason.
Gleason.
Jackie Gleestong?
It is Benito Mussolini.
That's good.
Okay.
These
That
are
is
good.
pretty good.
Well, this was we showed Donald before, but his actual name was
Wait.
Donald Trump.
Donald?
Mine are all dong, as far as I can tell.
I'm going to say that his name is Dick Coxman. What is it?
Donald the Dick Trump.
That's stupid.
No, that's not even trying.
Mine's closer. I should win. So we've
already done that. Dickie Minaj, we know.
Dickie Minaj, go lower.
Okay, so that's Napoleon.
So is it Dick-polian cockapart?
Boner part.
Oh, that's good.
Your boner parts.
Oh. What is it?
Napoleon Bonaparte.
You won.
Yay, boner part.
Fuck, I lost again. All right, that I guess is Clark Kent.
Who is it supposed to be?
I mean, there's a really wide
Is that
shoulders.
Party
on
Down?
penis.
Party dong, I guess.
Who is it supposed to be?
Don Draper is who it's supposed
Don
to be.
Draper.
Okay.
Dong.
Dong Draper, as usual. A lot of these are dongs.
Don Draper.
See?
Dong.
I got it.
Dong, everything's dong.
Santa balls?
Saint Dick. Saint Dick.
Oh, God, that's
Saint
great.
Dick.
Old Saint Dick.
You're just killing it. You're killing it. Really annoyed. By the way, these pictures, you can get these. These are all just penis pictures. Tap on the iBang. Need your dick pic taken? Go to this professional penis photographer. Now, you might say, oh, I don't want to see any of these penises. But there are no penises that are a turnoff here.
No.
They're
all
fun. They're like
they all
action
look great.
They're
figures.
fun, yeah.
Did you realize the penis was just a great blank canvas?
Yeah, I guess it would be for you, and your fucking tongue is a brush, isn't it?
It's true.
It is true.
What he said, every bit of it is true.
All right, let's see. We got to figure. I think that's supposed to be Chris Stanley with the fucking glasses.
Is that?
I can tell you who it is.
All right,
It's supposed to be Bradley Cooper.
Why?
that's ridiculous.
From The
I would
Hangover.
say Bradley Pooper.
Yeah.
But that would be the asshole we'd need for that.
Brad.
I guess Bradley Donger,
Is it a dong again? Is it another dong?
the Dong Draper.
It's not another Don.
What is it?
Bradley Cocker.
No, that's
that
not
makes
as
a lot
good.
of sense. That's great.
And this one's just ridiculous. It's supposed to be Old Dirty Bastard.
Old dirty penis.
Old dirty cock and balls.
Old Dirty Nuts.
I would have said old birdie. All right, what do we got?
All right, this is just a police officer. So it's not a character based on anything.
Eat the cop. Keith the cock.
What it is?
What is it?
Officer Hogster.
What?
Because they're trying to say pig. This is why I can't fucking be with the general left. This is why.
And so this is just a rabbi.
By the way, can we just stop for a second and bring up about how a Brit was like, holy fuck, you guys are serious about Trump? We're all like, yeah.
Uh-huh.
We're pushing this shit into the wall, bro.
Love it.
You want to fuck with us?
Get it? It's funny, right? But we're really going to commit to this.
What don't you get? We're going to let the guy from Apprentice fucking take over the country.
Funny. Why don't you guys do that?
All right, Jonathan wants to know, is there a Don Kirshner of rock concert fame?
Not that I see.
Robert said, Ron, your interview with Noel Fielding today is why I love the show. Right. To Noel then, Robert. Thank you. So damn good. Thanks, he says.
It's at Noel Fielding 11 on Twitter.
God, so many Noel Fielding fans out there. This says you could dress up vaginas like celebrity homes.
Oh, that sounds cool.
All right, let me say something. Stephen Remnick says this. Would you like E-Rock Radio to come in and train? Do you guys feel like you need E-Rock to come in and train you?
I can do this room. I pride myself on doing this room.
Can I tell you something? you sound special needs as you're trying to promote yourself.
I
You seriously, you sound like a special needs kid who is trying to convince me he can use the toaster. I'm just not fucking buying it. I make toast.
I pride myself on this room and being.
You should have
competent
zero
in it.
pride then. You should be more proud if you fucking blew guys when they got off at the bus station and said, "Welcome to Cum York." Today was a major fuck up, and we had a giant fucking star coming in. And you guys seriously were like fucking monkeys fucking a football. And it just got worse and worse and worse.
Yeah.
And
It was
That's
a long
the-
monkey fucking orgy. I identified that.
guess what? And you're monkey pimp. You're like a gorilla who's like the monkey pimp of this thing. If this was Planet of the Apes, you'd be the gorilla with a fucking gold chain and your stupid fucking yellow sunglasses. That means you take everything as a joke. You know what I feel like? Here's what I feel like doing.
Yeah.
Chris, no drinking this weekend. Vito, your workouts stop now, and I want you eating spaghetti until next Wednesday. Nothing but spaghetti every meal.
Carb up.
And Joe, you go live with those weirdo friends of yours and just fucking sit around and imagine that that's your life. That's your whole future. Those weirdo friends that you love.
Non-stop roommates.
It's all a joke to you, isn't it, big man?
It's not a joke.
It's not a joke.
And you had the fucking nerve to sit around and talk about Dave's blotchiness today,
I know.
which looks fantastic to me. If you want to see his first show, it's up there. Even though that pisses off people around here, I still gonna fucking promote my friend. Stop with your fucking passive-aggressive bullshit where you run down things that we do. Instead, just come out and say, I don't want you to do something, then life would be easier. Instead of giving me the worst fucking production team in history and acting like, oh, now we're even. This is kind of interesting. The iBank said, as many of our listeners go rushing to see the dick pics as they do naked girls. Because any naked girl it's the reason why the iBang had to really get a lot of server juice, because it would go down.
Right.
But
Anytime there's a butt.
The dick pics are just as big with guys.
Well, look at them. They're so fun.
They are fucking funny.
They're fun. They're funny.
I mean, what do you think this rabbi's name is?
Oh, I thought that was Michael Jackson.
See, he ruined it by saying rabbi. If you would have called her Rabbi Michael Jackson, I would have loved it. By the way, all right, just tell us the name.
Rabbi Shafstein.
Okay, that's stupid.
That's
and that's
dumb.
fucking racist, too.
I
tell
thought it
them-
was Dickle Jackoff.
That would have been great. If I would have seen that he'd been snipped, I would have been able to jump into it and say that's a rabbi. All right, a Jewish person wrote to me because I'm not kidding when I said because I know some people don't get it with the Bowie thing. I get that you don't get it because he wasn't the rock star of your life. But I was thinking about this. I feel the way people feel like when a president dies or something in office.
Yeah.
And then I'm like, oh yeah, that guy's more important. I've been through like fucking 6, 7 presidents with this guy. Of course it's more important to me. But the person I think that's even worse is my good friend Kathleen from the Bronx. She writes sad things to me all the time. I wrote back to her, it feels dangerous. As if there was the rapture, but only Bowie was taken. That's what it feels
That's
like being
almost a
left.
worse rapture in my mind.
I
Because
know.
then we're left behind. We're the left behind. And
Come
Bowie's,
back to spiders. Come crush our hands. That's Moby, friend of David Bowie. And I know a lot of people like to run Moby down too because he's, he looks like the kind of guy you used to pick on in school. But then a Jewish friend of mine said, the Jews take 7 days after death. They mourn as much as they want to. They get indulgent with their mourning. They dress in black. They cover the mirrors. No one leaves the living room. They cry. They lament. But when those 7 days are over, they take a walk and come back and say, that's done. I'm with the living now. We don't have something like that.
No, I think that culturally we've never really got a hang of how to grieve and mourn and to be honest, even have a funeral. I don't think we do it very well.
Oh, especially now. I mean, we're worse than we even used to be.
Yeah, that's what I mean. I think we've kind of regressed in that way.
Well, even now, I mean, we should be mourning. We're looking at funny dick pics.
Yeah,
and that's what happens at most funerals these days. That's a Jamaican. I'm gonna guess Peter Tosh.
That's.
Does that have a certain one?
It's just a Jamaican.
Well, why wouldn't you use one of the great reggae?
Yeah, why not have
that's on the dick.
Bob Marley or something? Bob Dickley? I don't know. Dongley again?
What is it?
Bumbacock.
Can you understand how fucking racist?
Yeah, that actually is. And I blame you for it. I think this is your humor.
By the way, Chris has already jacked off 8 times to these pictures.
I'm drained.
At work.
Here, this says your producers can't even spell professional on the pad data correctly. Then someone sends this to us, #Bennington, and it's just a monkey fucking a football, which should be the logo of the show now.
Can't believe they found that.
Here's one that says, give JoJo a break. Remember, he's on the Minnesota special needs team. Charadoc just writes smooth. All right, everyone is making fun of Joe when he's saying he's doing better, and he's spelled professional completely wrong. This says, can we go 6 minutes without a fuck up, please? Liz Sets Fire said, when they went with a cop, they could have just gone with Private Dick. This says, Saddam Hussein looks like Chris did at the Bennington family Thanksgiving. Can someone give JoJo a helmet? Gail Ann knows her dongs.
The reputation that I want to get out there, but hey, that's me. It's truth.
This says the Jews only take 7 days because the airlines give bereavement discounts for that long.
Oh,
I hate anti-Semitism. You know, I'm like what. Not only did Obama say enough with the racism and anti-Muslim stuff, so did the governor of South Carolina, who is a Republican. The rebuttal was, we agree, Trump's a fucking dick. I've never seen a rebuttal like that. Don't judge us by our front runner. If there is ever a time that I saw that they really don't want Trump, it's then. And then when Noel said, we thought you guys would find it as funny as us, I saw him looking at us like, you guys aren't laughing and acting like this won't happen. Because we know it's going, we want it to happen. We want to see what happens next.
We've taken it this far.
He's still leading by he's like 39%.
Listen, if he dropped off a month in, everyone would be like, that was funny. I'm so glad this idiot's out. But now it's, he's gone the distance.
Yeah.
See it through.
One time I was at this public pool, and a drunk guy had walked up. There was like 3 different diving boards, and then the top one was a platform. And a drunk guy he'd walked up to the end, fucking turned around, bared his ass and started to squat and started to shit. And everybody was screaming, no, no, and they were running up there. And I felt like I wanted to see the shit come down and hit the water. Now, that would have ended the day of swimming. You know, we would all had to not go into the pool. But I just wanted to see what it looked like for a guy to shit from 12 feet up in the air and have it hit the deep end. And that's how I feel about this election.
Yeah.
Is the shit going to fall?
Will it ruin the pool?
Yeah.
Will it be horrifying? Yeah, but you got to know.
It seems like it's the only outcome.
All right, Knob Marley came up. That was pretty good.
Okay, good.
By Bob Cumley.
All right, Lauren Yonkers is saying the burial is as soon as possible, and then the headstone unveiling a year later is the end, the real end to the period of mourning. I don't know if I got a year to get for anything. But I know one thing. You know what would help right now?
What?
Not less fiend, but morphine. And from what I understand, it's legal in Colorado and Washington State.
Is it?
Every drug is legal.
Did you hear? Drugs are legal now.
All drugs.
Wow.
You can pick them up at the CVS. It's great.
Do we have anybody else coming in today, Chris? Or
No.
I want to just see how we were going to fuck it up.
Do you want me to pretend like I'm a guest?
Oh, God.
Oh, Jesus.
That should happen after the show every fucking day. How many times do I say to these guys, hey, no, you know, a pro football team will run an off tackle 1,000,000 times in a row. When's the last time a guest got brought in properly?
Michael Ian Black?
Right, I'm just going to... Please, do you remember the day what Michael Ian Black said? Should I stay or leave this shithole?
I forgot.
You forgot that he said that.
Guess I blocked it out of my
Let
mind.
me just say something to Joe. Do you remember what Mr. Fielding called me at the end of this? The what?
The best.
No. It says it's like talking with the Oracle. And I want you to know, you pissed in the Oracle's mouth.
No.
And then jack some cum on your way out.
I didn't want... No.
Joe, why
That's
would you
how
do
I
that to the
fucking
Oracle?
feel. To make fucking Chris laugh. Because they had a funny joke. Let's see who can piss the longest in fucking Ron's mouth today.
That's what all of this was? A pissing contest?
It was not a pissing contest.
You know why I'm counting my money right now, Joe? Because I want to see if I have enough for a hitman.
Oh.
I hate when you do the baby no. I got to tell you the truth. It annoys the shit out of me. It doesn't seem masculine.
No,
or even feminine.
No, baby doesn't want Hitman to
It's
kill him.
terrible. But yes, a hitman's coming here.
Oh, God.
I know I got enough for a hit, but I don't know if I have enough for the torture before the hit.
Now, don't
I might
forget.
have to go to the bank.
You're gonna.
Oh, no.
You're gonna also don't forget you have to tip because
I'm
going
to say this to the fucking hitman: torture him until you throw up, until it even disgusts the hitman. You know what I might do with you? The room. Just give you fucking 18 years of you and your baby in a room. By the way, has anyone seen that movie?
I haven't. I have a copy of it. I haven't seen
Everyone who tells me that they've seen it tells me it sucks, and then the girl wins every award there is.
Yeah, they love her. They love her. And just the movie itself seems too fucked up to watch.
Do you ever notice though that if you want to win the best actress, you've got to be in a movie nobody has seen?
Yeah,
That's what seems to be the deal now.
a period piece helps too.
We're going no makeup.
That's how
they
you
say.
speak to the ladies.
What do you think blows up the site more? Dick pics or naked girl pics?
I'm starting to think these dick pics.
It's starting to look that way.
Wow.
Feeling these dick pics, you know?
I mean, our stuff alone is all on their computers.
All right, tomorrow there's going to be I'm setting up a thing with Vito, Chris, and Joe, which is going to be ass to mouth. And then what do you call those things that you and your buddies get together?
Human centipede?
Thank you, Chris. Then you do that human centipede bit.
I want to be the middle.
Ew.
Now
Friend,
I know
that's the
why
best one.
fucking David threw your ass into the street. This answers everything.
That was the dead weight. And
Why does Bronx Johnny keep you? That's what I don't understand. Because he doesn't care if the guests are treated like garbage.
he's laissez-faire.
You know what I wish I would act this way in front of Noel, just like a fucking man. And I'm go, no, mate, it's fine. It's good. It's like jam. I love jam over there.
Too much.
Oh yeah, they do. They love.
They like
little
jam.
Jams.
They don't know what jelly is, but they don't put any butter on before their jams. It's jams on dry bread.
Yeah, and crumpets.
In this country, we butter that shit up before we even start thinking about any kind of dead fruit to throw on it.
And what's a crumpet exactly? It's like a tea cookie.
Yeah, it's just a cookie.
But is it a tea cookie? Like one of the little.
I don't know what the...
Oh,
Looks
it's
like an English muffin.
That's an English muffin.
See, they don't call those English muffins.
They call it just muffins.
Yeah.
So our English muffins are just crumpets?
Wait, hold on a second. I've always thought crumpets were... I always thought they were cookies.
Oh,
Like a little tea cookie. You
First
want
of all,
tea?
just put up tea cookie, because she's driving me crazy by saying that over and over. How's a tea cookie different from a cookie?
Because it's a little dry kind of...
Oh, I'm not eating that shit.
Tea cookies blow.
Oh, I love a tea cookie.
They got there's fucking tasteless as Chris's mom's fucking. I was going to say vagina. Oh God! But I meant cooking because you told us that she cooked so bad.
She was awful. That one was an awful cook. Don't know about her vagina though.
That's disgusting.
I just don't know.
Now
you defend your mother's vagina.
Wait, you just went past one fast, and that's that buttered cookie. I like that one right there.
Yeah,
that one's passable for me. But
like
the
a
little
shortbread.
Fucking turd with dead fruit in it. Fuck you! I'll take that.
You're so anti-cooked fruit. I can't believe it.
They blow.
What was
I love a tea cookie.
There was engineers when I worked at NEW, and every day at the same time, they would have tea and what looked like a Stelladora breadstick, but was much more Italian. You know what I'm talking about at all?
I know. Was it the Stelladora cookies? Like is it the biscotti? Like
Yeah, kind of a biscotti.
Okay.
Dry biscotti.
And tea?
Yeah, and tea. And these old dudes would fucking eat it every day, and it used to make Fez furious.
Why? Why
Because
would
they would
he
sit
judge?
right in front of our fucking door every day, and it made him nuts.
But he had so many food rituals.
I
You would
know.
think that he would understand. He would
felt
say,
like there should have been, I guess, some other place.
Was he mad about the Stelladoras? It's not the tastiest of treat.
I like a Stelladora. I like the one with the little chocolate center.
What the hell is that? I don't even know what that is.
Yes, you do. You do. No, get out of that. And
He
go
doesn't
up.
know what he's doing.
Go up. Up, up, up. There it is. One of
Oh,
those.
that's disgusting.
No, those are delicious.
Those are really bad.
You know
the
what?
Swiss fudge.
You know, I'll have that if there's just Italian. Look, everything that the Italians do great, they really fuck up with their baked goods.
I love an Italian cookie.
Yeah.
A pizzelle.
Thank you.
A sfogliatelle.
When your grandmother sends those up, I'm like, why waste our time?
Oh my God, I love them.
Yeah.
It's not Christmas time without those.
Ugh. I'd rather never have another Christmas.
Eat one of those cookies?
No. I need some sweetness in my cookies.
Yeah, they aren't too sweet.
No. They're not too sweet, if you know what I mean.
I mean, I like bland food, but those things are too much.
Enough with the... Why are you trying to get something started? He's trying to get something started about bland food.
He won't fucking stop.
Stop hammering
Seriously.
it in. Anytime
You'd be
he's
so
like,
much better in
you
that
know,
other
me
shitty
being a
room.
bland food lover.
You know, bland foods is big right now. Hashtag bland food. Stop
What are you doing?
We let you put out dick pics. Isn't that enough for you?
Thank you.
We didn't tell everyone, but they're all Chris's.
Black, white, doesn't matter.
Oh, we never even brought this up. The Rams are officially leaving St. Louis. St. Louis will be again without a football team, but they have a pretty damn good baseball team. And they're going back to their homeland, Los Angeles, California, home of the Doors.
It's weird to take someone's team, though.
Dude, I've been calling them the well, they took Los Angeles team to begin with.
I understand.
I've been calling them the LA Rams for the past fucking 20 years and get corrected. I got a great idea for the people of St. Louis, and I think it'll help. I'm willing to move the Cardinals back to St. Louis.
Yes, that makes sense.
They need that. I don't even remember the Los Angeles Rams.
It was 20 years ago.
Yeah, it was like, they moved in the early 90s, right? When they moved?
94.
Why don't you remember that?
I don't know. Real burnout as a child.
This is like really weird.
Hey, this fucker doesn't even remember The Sopranos.
What's
the
that?
shit that you don't remember? He was like, wait, David Letterman was on TV. Wait.
We were just talking about it a few months ago.
guy-
Jon Stewart.
Letterman, the guy with the crazy beard? Why would they let him on television?
The fact that you even know he has a crazy beard shocks me. Now, I'm going to agree with you that it's sad that some little kid in Missouri has lost their team.
Yeah, Yeah, it does make me sad.
It is sad for them. There's no doubt about that. There's another thing, though. I'd say this. And the people of Los Angeles have proven this. You don't need a football team to live near you. You watch it on TV. It's a television sport. I'm going to go to fucking TV. I would go to see Jimmy Fallon as much as I would go see the Giants or the Jets. I don't give a fuck about seeing it live. Both those shows are better watched on TV than being in the audience. So you can sit and enjoy your game. I watch every game, every fucking weekend.
You do.
Every single game.
It's great. It's great to watch all the games. It's fun.
But I'm saying you don't really need a team, particularly if you're a gambler. If you're a rambler and a gambler.
It's probably better if you don't have a team if you're a gambler.
So you don't get your heart fucking pulled into that bullshit.
You've never been loyal to anything in your life.
You really
know this
haven't.
of you.
Except for bland food, I guess.
Oh my God, he brought it up again.
Yeah.
You're disgusting.
Just love it.
But it doesn't matter where the team is. I don't think the people of Los Angeles are going to show up every Sunday to see the Rams.
No, it's too nice. The weather's too nice.
No, here's the thing. The Chargers are talking about moving there, right?
Yeah.
Mm-hmm.
And you know how far away San Diego is from the stadium? 2 hours.
Jesus.
Just leave it.
You could still be a Chargers fan. Drive up early on a Sunday morning, watch your fucking game, and then come on back. There's plenty of people that live 2 hours outside of Pittsburgh and drive there to watch the games.
Right.
They're called settlers. They settle for anything.
So I wish these Chargers fans would stop crying. Because they have the option. They've been approved, but I don't think it's been...
Neither one of you guys was annoyed yesterday when somebody attacked one of our sponsors.
Couldn't believe it was fucking happening.
I was. You could tell. I
You know
went
why
to
you
bat.
did that too?
I went to bat. You know I went to bat.
And I was with you, and he wouldn't even stop.
I know.
And that made me think he must just hate the show. I know he hates Joe, Vito.
Yeah.
I thought he'd be closer with you. He's not.
Yeah, I thought...
Everybody likes you. No one likes me and Chris. I mean, our fucking personalities suck.
Oh, you're a bunch of prickly pears.
Yeah, we are. But I was watching you doing the Aboot show yesterday with Kashmir. That show was fun. You'd worked at it. You'd put some thought into it. When you guys were doing the boot dance at the end,
that was probably the highlight.
How can someone not like you and Kashmir?
I don't know. I don't think it's crazy to think that you couldn't. I mean, we are just we're fun. We're a fun little group.
You are fun, and you're caring. Maybe Joe could be, just that he does bad work. Vito could be, but Vito is Vito first. Chris couldn't be in a million years.
Oh, prickly.
If there was a fucking rapture, he'd be the last person.
Where'd everybody go?
He'd be the last man on the earth.
What about me?
What about Raven? Jason destroyed his fire report for us.
Hey, Mr. Bennington, Gail, and Softbox.
What's up?
You started off the Rams last, but former Ram and former Nebraska star Lawrence Brooks was found dead this morning in his jail cell.
I don't know what to say to you about that. Are you saying he killed himself?
No, actually, he was up for attempted murder of another inmate. He was brought up on charges last month or about 2 or 3 weeks.
People don't realize that you can go to court even when you're in jail.
Yeah.
Like, you ever see people shank people?
Yeah.
They don't get, in trouble with the warden. They go back to court in front of a judge.
I always
and
thought...
get time added.
I thought there was, an internal prison justice system. Where
Maybe there is if you fucking get caught stealing fucking SpaghettiOs. But if you shank somebody, you're in. Now, how come we don't hear about more people being convicted of rape in prison for all the rape stuff that you hear?
Because they don't talk. It's very rare that people speak up about it.
Like male prison rape shame.
Would you say if you were raped?
No, I wouldn't say if I was raped.
I want to take you out partying tonight.
What? Oh, it sounds great.
Mm-hmm. It's going to be.
Fun.
They're looking for a young Han Solo because they're going to make Boyhood Han Solo stuff.
Sounds terrible.
Terrible. I was going to put you up.
Oh, really?
Yeah.
I mean...
You're kind of swashbuckly.
Yeah, I love a vest.
Definitely.
I mean, I could fucking run around with a blaster. I wouldn't have to fucking go to like, I wouldn't have to have a lightsaber.
Let me tell you this. I'm going to drop this stuff about what happened to us yesterday. So one of our sponsors was attacked by one of the higher up tiers. Not only that, I know for a fact that the other service blows, and he wouldn't drop it.
Yeah, I've heard from other people that they were unhappy with that services experience.
We got to start just believing in ourselves. That's why we're always easy on each other. The stuff happened today. We all take responsibility for it. We don't start pointing fingers at that cocksucker, that son of a bitch. And I know Vito, it's not his fault, but he should have thought to himself, I'm not going to listen to the madness. Why would we change that?
Yeah.
Why would they possibly, even though we have a direct rule, why would I believe when someone told me it changed? You know what that reminds me of?
What's that?
Let's suppose Vito was in charge of the fucking nukes, right? He's sitting in front of the warheads. And a fucking maid, a housekeeper, came in and said, oh, Vito, your boss called, told you to set those off. He just starts hitting fucking buttons. Because the fucking maid said it.
That happened once in history. The nuke guys got the wrong orders, but they decided I'm not going to do it, and they fucking averted World War. Fun fact.
Who gave them the orders?
It was just a misorder, like the computer fucked up.
And what side did that happen to?
Believe it was the American side?
No. It was the Russian. So you're telling half fucking stories.
Half truths.
And just filled with spittle and whatever fucking lays there at the bottom of your mouth every day.
Dirty spit, yeah. Don't come. I'm not blowing, guys.
Do you want to not be homophobic for 5 minutes?
I'm not homophobic.
I don't judge you that's what your mouth is.
That's great of you. Yeah, I'm proud of you.
I'm not homophobic. I just want to let everybody know there's no cum in my mouth.
But I'm saying we wouldn't judge. Joe, would you judge if it was?
I wouldn't judge.
No, of course not. We all care about each other.
Send Kashmir in, and I want a public apology to him. That boot thing was fucking great.
Yeah.
I see that you're wearing different boots today.
I am wearing different boots in case we wanted to do another.
Chris, you're wearing your boots?
The boots I talked about in yesterday's.
Are they different boots or same boots today?
Oh, so good you had to wear them twice.
Okay.
Yeah.
And Joe, do you have your boots on?
Don't. I have sneakers.
Even though it came up on yesterday's show that you should wear boots.
And you said you would.
And then you had 2 back-to-back fucking Jenny Hutt videos that you ran this morning. And then did the thing with the misspellings and the fuck-ups. And then Chris says to me, none of the dead air stuff went out. And then I see people wrote on Twitter, oh, it's great to see Hicks get fucking yelled at. You started the song and then restarted it?
I started the song when I realized that you guys didn't hear the other song.
Do you understand how stupid that is?
We didn't need to hear it. So.
Yeah.
You would have just said, relax, guys, the song's on. I just didn't know how to do it where you could hear it in there. If we were Japanese, you would have a sword right now that you were falling in.
Oh, man.
All right, we can't do the boot thing because, once again, there is too many eyes in team.
Well,
by the way, your stuff was great between the two of you yesterday.
We had so much fun doing What's That a Boot?
But look, what about another idea? And we call it Scarf It Down. And everybody comes in with their scarves while we're eating lunch as quickly as we can. Scarf it down.
Okay, this could be fun. Scarf it down.
Do you need to save it for when Gurian's here because he wears double scarves?
Oh. I'd be happy to do a second episode with him. We don't need him. You know what I mean? You don't want your biggest guest on your first episode.
People love him. And then you should do him in the summer where all he wears is wife beaters.
He has incredible summer style.
Does he?
It's pretty.
He goes with every season. Yeah.
Every year.
He's well seasoned.
It's the same wife beater now for generations. And some weird.
Sometimes like not Hawaiian shirt, but a flashy like fucking shirt.
Yeah, it's
that's
like
open.
a printed.
It's totally open.
Well, yeah, because to show the wife beater off. But
I had to go.
What's the like $200 shirt that every man likes to wear? They're like
Benihana.
Benihana.
Oh god,
that's a fucking place to eat Chinese food. You're racist.
PF Chang's, right?
Tommy Bahama.
Benihana.
You're fucking. Look, let me tell you something. If we were a mob right now, I feel like the feds have this motherfucker in here wired.
He's Jennifer Lopez.
Thank you. What is that on tomorrow night?
Yeah.
All right. Text me why it's on. What's on tonight? Anything? There he is on CNN wearing his wife beater. So that's what he wears every day of the summer, some variation of this.
And he has a really great light jacket.
Yeah, I've never seen a wife beater paired with a pocket scarf. I love that.
It's a great look.
Dare to take risks.
And he also accessorizes really well. He has great jewelry always.
Oh, he cares.
He does. He cares.
The hair's so well like it has a.
You love the hair?
It tells a story. Yeah.
Yeah, it has a life of its own.
Yeah.
I would agree.
It's why he gets pulled over so much, though.
Yeah, because he looks like such a
the man
jive talker.
Jive talking, you're wearing your hair. All right. Well, you guys killed it yesterday. My favorite part was the boots dancing at the end and the close-ups on the boots.
Yes.
But by the way, I love that song. I wanted to bring something up to you. So we were looking at Los Angeles, California, probably the 60s as the next GPS. But we're also looking at Memphis, and by the way, the tremendous music I found there. And bring Jam Band over, because he's the only one who cares about GPS. Fucking Chris ignores it, Joe ignores it, and Vito ignores it.
It's just me, you, and Jam Band.
Well, Jam Band's making sure he's not sharing a mic in that shitty room. Come over and grab a mic, my friend. Well, Jam Band, I'm going to bring you into this. By the way, I found some fantastic stuff from Memphis. Not as many actualities as we normally have. Some great stuff for Los Angeles, plenty of actualities there. But then I got thinking about this. Bowie's gone. Could we do London in the 70s? Bowie, Roxy Music, Slade, T-Rex.
I would love to do that show.
I might even throw Wizard in there. I mean, I might be out of my mind right now how excited I am about this. But there's a possibility, or am I just too close to this Bowie stuff? Jambed, your gut reaction.
My gut reaction would be to wait a little while on the Bowie stuff, because we were talking about Memphis yesterday, and that seems really cool.
It might be cool, but is anybody thinking about Memphis right now?
Yeah.
No.
I can relate with the idea of it's so in our minds right now, it might be a good time to do it.
Because we would make it so precious.
Yeah.
By the way, Mott the Hoople also going to be part in there.
Of course.
And of course, when you look at it, it was probably our prettiest period of maleness.
Oh, yeah. It was very, very
What's your thought?
There's no better time to do it.
And yet I trust Jam Band more than you. And I do. Jam Band's saying we might be too emotional. Gail's saying we should be emotional.
Yes.
What are you thinking?
I love a therapeutic moment. You know, you guys can kind of just all gather around.
But let me tell you something. I love those gays so much that I hate your generation.
What's wrong with that?
Because you guys are you make the shittiest art. Look at the beautiful art that was made in the 70s by gays. And then look at Glee and whatever fucking other dumb shows that you guys make one after another now.
Not Gaga over Gaga.
Gaga is not fucking a gay man. Gay men
would love to be though.
But this is what's wrong with you. Gay men show up to see everybody but gay men.
Yeah.
Rufus Wainwright is maybe the fucking greatest artist living today. He's gay. I go there and I might see one gay guy on the other side of the room. And he's going like this. Where's Gaga? Do you think she'll come out? I'm like, no, dude. Why don't you just enjoy Rufus? But if anybody from like Gaga came out, what's the other chick with the big tits that you all love so much, Katy?
Oh, Katy Perry.
What has she got to do with gayness?
Her first song, she made fun of gay people. So then after that, we kind of just we immediately went harder in. Yeah.
You know what?
Mm. Yeah. Gaga, I understand though.
Gaga is like Cher, but it took Cher 25 years to get that conservative. Gaga did it in a year and a half. She went from wearing a meat suit to now she's like, ladies and gentlemen, Mr. Tony Bennett. Like, what are you doing? You haven't.
She was so ready
you made
to
like
be the
2
elderly
fucking albums
songstress.
before you wanted to become part of this and the grand old tradition of conservative music. Like, what is wrong with you? So if I do this, if I go to England, I'm worried I might just scream that out instead of just. I'm saying I wish I could go back and fucking just grab all those guys and go, look what happened when you finally got accepted. Wasn't it better before you were accepted? You made great fucking music. That's why I'm voting again. I'm voting for Donald Trump to take away all the gay rights so they get you guys underground and making great art again. You're too comfortable in the suburbs.
But for them, it was even less gay than it was about being fluid with sexuality, I think. Like a freeness and an openness.
What are you talking about?
During the glam period, it was
let me just show this. Look at Mark Bolan and tell me one gay guy looks this good today. Tell me one gay guy could stand up with Mr. Mark Bolan.
Drawing a blank. That is, it's just.
He's beautiful.
Yeah, that's and it's also that thing. He's not trying to be like hot or anything. He's just a beautiful, fluid soul coming out. Yeah, no, I feel that. Yeah.
Well, you guys are all about the brands.
All about the brands, yeah.
Oh, fuck. I don't know. Maybe Jam Band's right. I don't know if I want to stand with Jam Band, though, against the rest of the team. You know, that's the problem.
You can stand by me, Ron.
Well, see, the thing is, like, when they start making fun of you, wouldn't it be easier for me just to go over to that lunch table, sit down, and just start saying mean shit? Why should I get caught up in it? All right, Joey Jojo, the man who can't spell, the man who thinks songs should be started twice. Memphis, L.A., or London?
I'm a giant 1960s L.A. scene guy. Love that scene.
You realize that the discussion had become between Memphis and London, and now you take it to a third place.
Yes.
It's almost more
Much
confusing
like
now.
Oakland and the Chargers and the St.
Oh,
Louis Rams.
my God. Now he's bringing up the Chargers.
There's no reason to do that.
Your last day here is maybe your worst. All right, let's grab Vito and see what he has to say.
I'm going to choose London because I do want to see some emotion from everybody. I want to feel what you guys feel.
You see how different? This is why you might be worth saving and Joe isn't. Because you bring in not just yourself and what you personally like, but you thought of the team. You know what I mean?
Yeah, that was good.
You turn this thing into talk soup, and I appreciate that.
I love all of you.
Chris, if after the show today I force you to get rid of one of those guys, who do you get rid of?
I get rid of Joe.
And then which one of these two guys do you take?
Lovely Cashmere.
All right. Now, by the way, that's not going to happen, but Jam Band and Joe, it gives you a reason to hate this fucking guy. And
Use
Cashmere, it's a good reason for you to feel disappointed.
Don't forget that and use that against him later.
Yeah.
When you have to think about loyalty, guys, just know where he stands.
Only one person feels good right now, and that's Vito.
He has a huge smile on his face.
I know, he's
through this
so...
whole thing, everyone else looks very concerned.
Everything's pretty good for my spot right now.
You know why, though? Because he looks like you. That's why he picked you. You're pretty mad.
You're brothers.
I'm very hankry.
You just used an H in it. You just said hankry.
What's hankry?
It's like anger, but worse. It's hanker.
All right, someone wrote, why don't you just record it now and then release it out of order? Thanks for adding more work to us. Why did Liz Has Fire write? Yeah, duh.
About what?
Hanker?
I guess because people are saying do a special edition. GPS, rest in peace, David Bowie. That's not exactly true. We can't do that. And Liz Says Fire is saying how much she digs Florentine and how good he tastes.
Whoa.
It says it has raspberries in the middle. Women love Jim Florentine.
Yum, yum.
Oh.
What?
You're disgusting.
It's maybe one of my least favorite things you say. Particularly when you couple it with "Give Me Some."
It's just fun, you know?
He says, yum, yum, give me some.
Yeah,
Yum,
he does.
Yum, give me some.
I hate it. He only says it to make people uncomfortable.
No. Fletcher writes, if Vito wants to see some emotion, crack another 7:30 a.m. scope. This end needs his beauty sleep. Too early for that shit. Somebody wants us to do a modern band in the Memphis. Well, why don't we do that if we do all modern? I don't ever want to take any cities like on a 40-year trip.
Yeah, I think the idea is a scene.
The Scene was the initial idea. We even wanted to call the show The Scene.
Good name.
Fuck, great name. Chris didn't fight for us on it, though, remember?
Yeah.
And we asked Donto, and he didn't even understand what we were talking about.
Yeah.
Ugh. I don't know what's next for us. I just hope to bore you.
It's the opposite.
I don't know where I'm going.
But I promise it will be boring. That just reminded me of our friend, Noel Fielding. Remember our new best friend?
God, I can't wait till we all hang out together.
I know. I feel like we could be best friends.
I want to take him out for some American food.
Yeah, just like show him our culture.
Yeah.
Hey, this is a burger. Have you had a burger before?
You call these
like
chips.
that.
We call them fries.
Mm-hmm.
This is an English muffin.
Wait, what are they called chips again? They have a
Fries.
weird... No, they don't call them chips.
Crisps.
Fries.
They call them crisps. They don't call that. They just swap the names.
Oh.
Did you really think that?
I did.
Give me a bag of fries.
So glad that you didn't say that in front of our new best friend, Noel Fielding.
No.
So they could say, well, give me some fish and fries, is what they're really saying. Now, here's what they need to do. Replace that fish with a cheeseburger. Mm-hmm. And you know what? They're in like Flynn.
Yeah. Then you'll finally get us.
Let me just check with you right now. And I'm just going to ask you once. Don't look around the room because you have a way of stealing stuff. Okay, Kashmir?
Close your eyes.
When I say in like Flynn, who am I talking about?
I mean, at first I thought you meant Flint, like the area, like the city.
Yes, I meant in like Flint.
Yeah.
You guys are just like Flint, Michigan, is what I'm saying.
And I was like, I guess they eat burgers there, so I'm going. I was like, okay.
All right, you're saying Flint, Michigan. What am I talking about, Chris?
Earl Flynn?
Thank you. Chris?
Yes.
Go get yourself a crisp and enjoy it.
I love a crisp.
Look how they're golf clapping for you because they hate you. Hey, should we break before the end of the show?
Break one more time.
You know what? I never let Kashmir throw it to break. Let's see if you're ready for your radio thing.
All right. This is Bennington.
Little Bowie on the Bennington Show. We're playing Bowie all week this week, and now maybe the rest of our lives. We don't know. We haven't decided yet.
I can't really imagine this feeling ending, so.
I know. Did you say that it should go on forever?
Yeah.
And maybe they are right about it.
Keep mourning and mourning and mourning.
Every morning, start your morning.
Mm-hmm.
I might have a morning service every morning. We're playing, when does our Ron Bennington interviews run?
That airs at 10 p.m. on Canada Laughs tonight. Tonight, yes.
Have we gotten it to him yet?
No, we have not gotten to them yet.
Let's replay today's guest, who was lovely.
Mr. Noel Fielding.
And then Michael Ian Black.
Okay.
Perfect.
Two very, very funny people. You might have to do the voiceover with me because you're... Oh, but you've got that other thing to go to.
Yeah. Mention me.
Huh?
Just mention me.
Mention that I'm there.
Tell them how much I love Noel. He was so sweet when he came in.
Yeah.
He, before we had gone on air, he was meeting us and came up to me and said, "Am I still dad there? I love it. I love it." So cute.
Well, that's because in England they don't know who their own fathers are.
No.
Dad's normally in the mines or in factory.
In the pub.
Or in the naval service serving the Queen. Like how Chris just understands one job, the pub.
The pub. The
RAF. The RAF. That's what they're always, the Royal Air Force. That's what they care about.
Well, that's not what a pub is, but way to stay with the bit. You know what? You're in the moment, and that's what matters. Oh, don't you like when a song ends like totally different than what the whole thing was before?
Now I'm in a different mood, and this is where we're going.
That's when we start hopping? Is this when we start hopping? Because I am. Someone wrote, you're confusing Brits with black people. You know something? Brits can be black.
They can. They
And
are.
Yeah.
Always will be.
Look at Seal. He's a Brit.
No, he isn't.
He's not?
Oh, he's from Africa.
No.
Well, we're all from Africa originally.
No, he's British, I think. Pretty sure.
Oh. Wait a minute. Let me say this about Houston. Oh, Austin? Let me check this out.
Steve?
You know something, dude? You fucking don't even realize that you're doing this, but you're attacking Mr. David Bowie.
I never would.
It feels like you are.
A lot of people are asking about what's going on with Chris and his tragically thin and frail arms and wrists.
So many people are writing me still about
That came from you putting your hands in your pockets.
Yeah, because I was from...
Do it now where I can see you.
All right, so this is my dad's shirt, my modeling pose.
I stand back a little bit so we can see your fucking wrist. You maniac.
Tom.
I mean, your wrists are thin, but not as thin as they appeared.
They appear so thin in that it looks like, how do you not just break your wrist anytime you pick up a pencil?
That's what they say, when you're on camera, thins your wrists out.
I've never heard that once.
They don't say that.
We have proof. They should start saying it.
But they do look dangerously thin. Like it's possible that there could be an injury.
I'm sure
if
there
he
will
falls forward, yeah.
Don't catch yourself. You're better off just bouncing right off your face.
All right, this is kind of interesting, and I'd love to get back into the nonsense shit that you guys do, but this comes from Ultimate Classic Rock. It was sent to me by a listener. Some people in Austin just changed the name on the sign the past couple days to David Bowie.
Okay.
And the Austin officials said, yeah, okay.
They just approved it right away?
They didn't even approve it. They just left it there.
That's why Austin's awesome.
No one is responsible. No one knows who's responsible for the switch. They said, all right, leave it that way for a while. See what happens.
People don't
Very
like
funny.
it. That's great.
That's a better way to live than get up that.
The honor with signage.
All right, how about this guy? So this fucking guy writes this. His name is Steve Lindquist. Right. What about a GPS on Detroit with some of the studio bands and musicians from different parts of the country and world? Steve, we open GPS with Detroit.
Steve, are you a new listener, Steve?
What are you, Steve Austin? Huh?
Stone Cold? Stone Cold, bro?
Do you remember his wife who used to walk him to the ring? You remember her name?
It wasn't Sable.
Of course it wasn't Sable.
But it starts with S.
Deborah.
Thank you.
Starts with S.
Why? Why did you think it starts with S? Because Sable does?
Yeah, because Sable was blonde.
Because Steve does.
Steve and Sally.
Her name also Steve. Why do you let him know more about wrestling than you?
You allow it, so. And he's taking that away from you.
I'm taking that goddamn WWE network away from you, Vito.
No, we need him.
Yeah, we need somebody
You used to be,
who's not going to be stupid.
Do you remember when he used to be Wrestling Boy?
Wrestling Boy, get in here, I'd always say.
Those are the salad days for me.
You never eat a salad. I know that for a fact.
Yeah,
I've never seen him eat a green. Not one green thing.
The only thing I've ever seen him eat green was pork chops, and they had been set.
I thought they were still good. Didn't get that sick. I fought my way through it.
I'm glad you brought it up. I'm trying to get Gail to call me Stevesy.
How about Stevesy?
What about Papa Steve? Does that work?
Papa Steve? Should I start calling you Papa Steve?
Or Steve? Papa Steve is fine. I'm not even sure if you are my child, though. This is probably my daughter. That was my favorite part. No, he knows nothing about wine. Here, put it in here. An annoying fucking guy he was. So great. I'll tell you one thing. He was no pussy.
No.
There were scenes in there. He was just like running in like he was an action hero.
He was fucking badass.
When he takes that moment, he's just like, no. Like, he's not going to let someone take over his ship.
Iggy Pop starts playing. It's like, oh, shit.
Oh, what did I do with my phone today?
I don't know.
I'm about to seal this fucking building if I fucking lost my phone.
What about your pocket?
You guys keep talking.
Okay.
All right.
Yeah.
It could
I'll
be
bring
in the
up,
bathroom, by the way.
Fucking limey better not have sold this.
All right, well, if hopefully Noel Fielding did not steal a cell phone, then you can go see him.
Talking about it.
Not him.
Oh, which
Why would
Limey?
you use a disparaging remark about him?
Well, he's
I would
our
never-
new friend,
I would
and
never
he would never
disparage
take
him.
anything from us.
And confident.
He's only given us stuff.
I know he's wonderful.
You plugged nothing while I was gone. I found it. Some asshole put it in my coat.
Come on,
I'll
guys.
find that son of a
That's
bitch.
Come on, guys. You don't do that shit. You just don't. Yeah, but Noel Fielding on Sunday, January 17th. A conversation with Noel Fielding and Bobcat Goldthwait is happening as part of the San Francisco Sketch Fest. Go to sfsketchfest.com for tickets, and it'll be on Conan next Tuesday, January 19th at 11 p.m. on TBS.
Conan. Also, go on our Twitter and see our buddy Eastside Dave. His first, Chris called it blotchy. I call it flawless first show. I think he looks like a beaut.
I was just worried about him.
That picture does look pretty blotchy.
You know, for some reason, even on my screen, it's even more so. I'm going to pull it up for you. And you will see that even in comparison, that one's pretty intense.
Yeah, that's like a
That
nice...
looks like a sick person.
But again, I'm just going to say, you know, for the screen, you normally have a makeup artist. It's not his fault. Imagine what the rest of our television hosts would look like if they were sans makeup and hair.
Fallon, beautiful.
No.
You don't think so? You don't think Fallon has beautiful skin? Because I've met him. And it's fantastic.
James Corden? I mean, he's British.
Never met him. Bad skin?
Oh, I can't tell.
Then why bring him up?
Yeah.
You gotta have an opinion in this business, son. All right? Mike, Austin.
Hey, how you doing, Bennington?
We're great.
Listen, I wanted to talk about the sign change this morning that they noticed. It's typical of Austin to go, yeah, that's kind of cool. We'll just kind of leave it there for a little while. And they're saying 3 or 4 days before they get around to taking it off.
I like their attitude.
Just leave it.
Yeah, it's pretty great.
I hope it stays that way. Austin's fantastic.
Well, we love it. We've been here for about a year and just can't get enough of it.
Where'd you come from originally?
We were in Atlanta before.
That shithole?
Yep, that's exactly right.
Mm-hmm. All right. What do you do for work there in Austin?
I build guitars. We've talked before.
Oh, yeah. I'm going to come to your guitar place. I want to go to Austin.
I would love that. Please do.
All right. Talk to you later.
Bye-bye.
I'd love, some people name stuff after me, but the Ron Bennington guitar, you don't have it go out and have children learning to play on that guitar.
I think that would be one of the coolest
My
honors.
idea is to have 3 necks.
Sick.
Perfect. And then you could play with your friends, too. Like, they could
That's
just come
disgusting.
over and everybody grabs a neck.
Oh, God.
What?
Come on.
You're
What?
filthy.
Oh.
Just saying. 3 necks. Why not share?
What if we just called it the Ron Bennington and Jimi Hendrix guitar? One who was a guitar wizard, the other would just rather listen. It hurts my fingers to play when I could just put on a record and enjoy it. You play it. I treat guitar players the same way I treat taxi drivers. You take me. You already have it.
Play it, minstrel.
That's racist, my friend.
Doesn't have to be. It
Really?
doesn't have to be.
Okay.
Some
Your way
minstrels
being.
are just minstrels.
What about the minstrel in the gallery? Only tall fan left. The minstrel in. But that's if they shot people for being pretentious. Ian Anderson would have been shot seconds. Really don't mind if you sit this one out. Do, 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 do. Ian! Well, we're going to get ready to wrap this one up. So tell me who's on the Ron Bennington interview show tonight and where I can listen.
On Canada Laughs, channel 168, 10 p.m., it's Noel Fielding and Mr. Michael Ian Black.
I'll tell you this. When Canada laughs, the world laughs.
Yeah.
Mm-hmm. With them, not at them.
Sometimes at them for the boot thing like you guys did yesterday.
That was out of love and respect.
Love, Kelly.
And as I mentioned, even my boots themselves are Canadian.
Are you ready, Boots?
Start walking.
How many times they would play that over in Vietnam. And so many times that me and so many of my friends that I grew up with, we were drafted into watching Vietnam movies. And the horror.
Were you in the shit?
Well, I saw movies that were in the shit, that's for sure. Some of them I would see back to back. Deer Hunter and Apocalypse Now at the same drive-in.
Damn.
Yeah.
Intense.
And it was fucking mid-August, so it was just hot as piss.
Did you have snacks at least?
Chris, you know what? If you want to go through every fucking detail of my life,
it's too long
why don't you
movies.
follow me around everywhere?
You should.
I didn't know at the time.
I'm a snacker. I'm not going to fucking downplay that.
Okay.
Jesus.
I mean, it's like 7 hours of film.
Well, I was going to get to the snacks, Chris. Let me tell the fucking story.
I was just curious. That was the first thing that popped in my head. You're going to sit down for that long.
I am curious of why you have no children and you wear dad shirts every day.
That is kind of weird.
It's a good look.
Are you trying to attract children with that?
Oh my God, no!
Because you want to look like a dad, someone they could trust?
And that's why he likes snacks.
Oh my God, that's why you always have those treats in your pocket.
No! Jesus!
I bet there's so many tiny little fucking corpses in there.
Oh my God!
No, there's no corpses. There's no children. There's none of that.
I'm going to get the interns on it. Check out his place. Just check for corpses.
You interns, you better not go anywhere near Astoria.
They're allowed to go to Astoria. You have no jurisdiction
I should.
over Astoria, Queens. I want those guys in the apartment checking everything because I don't trust
I'm
you.
looking at Kevin Hart and Ice Cube on Twitter.
Yeah.
Their entourage is whiter than I would have expected.
Really?
They're all excited about this big movie they got coming up. Right Along 2.
I think it's going to be good.
Ice Cube looks exactly the same.
He doesn't age.
Is he rocking a fro? I remember one time he came in to do our show, and it was he had the fro, and it looked amazing.
You're fucking racist.
I'm just talking about a man's hair.
He was playing a period piece.
Oh Jesus, that really sounds bad now.
Yes.
Well, you know what? Let's end this while we're behind. You had maybe your worst day producing today.
Horrible.
Should we meet today or let this go another day so the tempers aren't flaring?
What if I meet with them?
You're too easy.
No, I'm not.
They don't listen to you.
Guys, are you going to listen to me?
I listen to you.
They'd say anything to get out of the meeting they're going to have with me. Chris has shown his leadership by sitting there flat-footed, not understanding what answer to give.
How can they respect a leader if he doesn't even have arches?
Thank you.
Oh, come on. Yeah, it's not good.
It's not what an answer would be.
The answer would be, let's do it today.
Okay.
Who do you want there?
Myself, Joe, Vito, Ron Bennington, Gail Bennington.
You know that she's got something to do.
And we should do it tomorrow. We should all be there for it.
Well, maybe we'll all be finishing. You got something to do. I got something to do.
All right.
Maybe we'll all finish. around the same time. I'm not sure how long mine's going to take.
That's the kind of decision Chris would never make. I admire it.
Thank you.
All right, we're wrapping this one up today. Thank you to our guests. We had a fantastic day. But there's a lot more people walking around here.
How many people?
I don't know what's going on. They can't all be Brooke Shields.
She's only one woman.
Did you see what she named her daughter?
What?
Panty.
That's awful.
Shh, she's still here.
I keep fucking
The
up.
door is cracked. I told those guys to keep the door open.
Keep the door open so guests can hear us as they walk by. All right. The nightmare is over. The long national nightmare. What's tomorrow? Thursday?
Thursday.
You never had Christina come back in, right? I saw her in the hall today. I know, Christina, you were supposed to do the show. And she said to me, Chris said to me a week ago, are you free at 1 o'clock? And I said yes, and haven't heard from him since.
I getting the times down. Looking like Friday.
Don't we have something else planned for Friday?
Hopefully.
So you would bump her.
What about Thursday? Tamari.
Earlier in the show.
Earlier than what? 1?
Like at 1 o'clock for her.
Oh my God, it's always been 1 o'clock, you fucking lunatic.
Oh yeah, it would be 1 o'clock. I'm going to text her.
No. Just text her now and say you do not represent the show. Until after this meeting, we'll figure out what we're doing. All right, that's it for us. We're done. We apologize. Thanks to Noel Fielding, our new best friend. And we'll see everybody again in 1974.
Ladies and gentlemen, the evening is over. We hope you all enjoyed yourselves, and we'll see you all again in 1974. Good evening!